Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's get business out of the way. We are live on Twitch right now, and we have a lot of people in there watching us. Welcome to the show. We like having you live every single day. And I know what you're thinking. You might be hearing this on the podcast or hearing this at a later date, maybe from our website. But man, you can be live, you can be chatting, you can be participating, you can give us money all through Twitch. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. It's the most fun way to watch and participate with the show and check in Monday through Friday live in our sweet little Streamline studios.
There's 2 days left to order stuff, any Tom and Dan merch if you want it before Christmas. Eric, our merchman, said that basically if he gets it out by the 17th within Florida, you should get it by Christmas. We've got tons of new merch on the website, new t-shirts, new villain collaboration merch, the Tom and Dan belt, the Tom and Dan Dop kit.
I like the belt. I've been wearing the belt. Now, the only drawback I will say with the belt, because I don't want any disappointed chunkuses out there, is that if you're a big, large man where a belt is paramount for you, because the larger you get,
it goes up to 38.
38. It's a 38. It's not. It never ekes into what I like to call stout territory.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but we're gonna do that.
We're limited with making custom merchandise in small batches.
Yeah.
We're
not a big and tall store.
We can get what we get.
Yeah, you get what you get.
We're
and
lucky,
you don't, and you lose a little weight.
We're lucky enough we can do this through Villain and create custom belts that are printed throughout the whole belt.
Yes.
BDM on the belt.
Sublimated.
Yeah. But it's like we're limited because we're not. We're not,
structured. You gotta like the way you look. We're not a Men's Warehouse here, for Christ's sake.
We need like a bigger factory to get all belts.
We could have either made 40 regular belts or one Chunkus belt. And we had to choose. We could make one belt or 40 belts, and we made 40.
Let's do some weird job.
All right, let's weird job it up. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? I want to flute during this part. Are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like a toot a little. I'm kind of getting bored of this.
Yeah. Maybe we should change it up next year.
Sure, remix it.
Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday.
Or I could just put, okay, hold on, I know what to do.
Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
2021.
Oh yeah, that's called the standard radio.
Yeah, the standard radio. You stamp the name on the end of it. It's a whole new bit. You didn't have to do anything creative.
Weird Job brought to you by Streamline Mortgage, StreamlineFlorida.com. If you're looking to refinance or get a mortgage, use Streamline. Brian Zyman and his team are great, and you could do everything over the phone, or at least they could tell you if it's a good idea to refinance or not. But most likely it is, because you have equity in your house, you have bills, high interest rates in other areas.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing? You've been looking at my books?
I'm just saying, everybody's got bills. They're probably not doing it right. Just talk to Streamline. Refi, take some money out, do your thing.
Put a ring on it.
15-year. That's what I did. Anyway, Kobe, what's going on, dude?
Not much. How you doing?
Good. So, Kobe, what is your weird job?
For the past couple of years, I have been working for an artificial intelligence startup.
Interesting. So,
you're part of the problem. I like it.
I am part of the problem, yes, sir.
Well,
yes.
I mean, a lot of people say that, but I find this stuff kind of interesting. I don't find AI to be quite as terrifying as a lot of people say. But I mean,
now.
Yeah, not now. I mean, I think we're in the sweet. It's like any relationship. In the beginning, it's awesome until she's like burning. She ties you to the bed and burns you alive.
It's kind of like the first time gunpowder was invented. I think by the Chinese.
Whimsical at that point, right?
Like they are like, whoa, look at this!
Wow.
Like this could be used for fireworks. And then someone's like, it also propel.
Yeah, like a projectile into a person's body.
And then they're probably like, Man,
Wow.
I bet in the future this is
Enough
going to
of
be
this-
bad.
Yeah, enough of this could incinerate a mountain.
Yeah. So right now you're just using it to get people to buy more garbage, but in the future they'll be crushing our skulls.
So I guess what I would ask, Kobe,
Right.
how do you get involved with, what was the path to getting involved with an AI startup?
It's sort of an interesting journey. After 8 years in the Navy, I sort of stumbled into the IT field by accident.
Right on.
And then in '99, Oracle was hiring every nerd in Orlando. So I was, to quote Tom from a bit a long time ago, I was a boring Oracle dad for about 18 years. And then during that time frame, I sort of was a global technical lead for several of our products and support. So I left there and then went to Disney, where I managed the database operations team for Disney Parks and Resorts. And then some of my fellow colleagues from Oracle had left to go to the startup. And when they got ready for go-to-market, they brought me in to sort of help lead and set up their services organizations to be able to do all the customer support for our customer field services and things like that.
That's cool.
So it's managed, sort of just been, a happy accident that I landed where I'm at.
So, Kobe, let's talk artificial intelligence, and I'll tell you how I think the whole thing works.
Well,
and
he knew you were going to do that.
And
I mean,
you
I don't
tell
think
me
there
if
was-
I'm right.
There was never a question of that, I feel like.
So, Kobe, basically the human brain
This is also artificial intelligence, I feel like. What's happening right now?
is like our brains are doing million calculations at all times.
I don't feel like mine does. I feel like it's real
I know.
slow.
It's slowing
clunky.
down.
Mine's clunky.
But and it's all based on data that our brain collects, and we're reasoning how things work, and it's based on information, and we're like I said, a bunch of calculations at once, and we're trying to get computers to work similar to our brain to do as many calculations as needed to replicate human consciousness. Is that basically, maybe not consciousness, but the way our brains work, so that the computers can more accurately mimic
Predict
human brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually right now. I mean, that is the ultimate goal. But right now, it's more to solve particular business problems, or more accurately, to find to find questions that people didn't even know to ask in business. So, for example, in artificial intelligence, you design models, and there's different classifications of these models. Like, for example, if you look at Facebook, recommendation is their main sort of model. They started off with DLRM, so Facebook spends about 90% of their overall total compute power on recommendations. So to recommend you ads, to recommend what shows up in your feed, anything to sort of drive engagement,
Yeah.
keep your face glued to that screen. And so what it does is, so if you imagine looking at the crowd at the 9-year event, and sitting there and trying to figure out, okay, based off of every single little movement, every single little action, every single little word said by that entire crowd, how could I drive the marketing of my Tom and Dan merch to truly, get the most buys based off of the behaviors of these people?
Huh.
So if you think about, like you were saying, your brain collecting this data, but imagine your brain just collecting data that you couldn't even begin to start to comprehend.
Yeah.
Because the volumes are so large.
Yeah, like layers of data that would like you're saying, and also when it's collecting that data, am I correct in assuming that it's on every level? Meaning, is it more intimate? Like, how does it?
Yeah, well, like if you look at DLRM, I believe they have things that are called these fact tables. So if you think of it like tabular data, it would be something like a spreadsheet with a few 100,000 columns.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. That's a perfect visualization of what we're talking about. I can't talk today.
So, Kobe, I read an interesting article about AI in the real estate industry and like the whole thing of what happened with Zillow and their whole collapse and basically what's interesting is they were using AI to predict home values, right? And they're like, all right, based on home sales, and they were trying to get it as accurate as possible, even with areas within a city. Like obviously, there's a big difference between housing that could be 5 blocks apart, right? And it's just because
taking in.
Yeah.
Taking in like crime statistics, school ratings, traffic patterns, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, but then what they had a problem with, or the AI that they were using, the one thing that they couldn't account for, or the AI couldn't do, is like individual houses and layouts and aesthetics and things that were beyond the computing reasoning of the computer because it wasn't
That's some
statistics.
pretty intricate scope there.
You're talking about how humans like layouts and the way things look and things that couldn't
There'll be no understanding of that there unless you build it in, I would imagine.
Well, there couldn't be any math to account for it, right? Like you can't just there's no math to account for like just the way the house feels and looks to humans, and the computer couldn't understand it, and therefore the algorithm was off a little bit, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
And so,
Correct.
So that is going to be the hardest thing for AI to figure out is like what humans find pleasing to our eye.
Human emotion. I mean, people have studied it for millennia, and yeah, no one's quite gotten there yet. Now there are people working on these, several hundred billion, and the Chinese recently said they came up with a model, a language model for over 1 trillion parameters. And basically what each one of those parameters is that it's a vectorization of word classes and words, and basically trying to leverage these models to then go through and analyze things like social media posts and stuff like that to try and get that type of thing. But it's never going to be perfect because think about just trying to figure out what your wife is thinking. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, their women are illogical and
they're born as robots. I feel like, right?
Yeah. Well, they robots can't understand because they're you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Believe me, I live as close to. I try to live as close to a robot as possible.
You're the T-69,
and it does not work in the real world.
What's the hardest part of your job? Like when you do, are you one of those guys that you get to work, you put the headphones on, and you just get to typing?
No. My particular role in the company, we have several hundred engineers, multiple PhDs, master's degrees, and stuff like that, and they do sort of the hardcore coding. My job is to set up all the processes, procedures, and everything for servicing our customers. But also as part of that work, I also participate in pre-sales, which means taking a customer model and porting it to run on our equipment. And so that way, I basically have to have the ML skills, the sort of process building skills. Yeah. I had to teach myself Salesforce from scratch during the pandemic because they're like, here, you're going to use Salesforce to develop your entire, support portal and everything like that.
It's not at all easy to learn all that either, man. Like that's that's hard stuff.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about a startup. You wear multiple hats.
Right.
So your job is never boring. Even though if you look at like a well-written wrestling storyline, there's the overarching storyline, but you never know what's going to show up week to week to get you to that endpoint.
We are very much a startup. I've never really thought about that, but we just never stop starting. It's like we're always starting up. It's like we never finish. We never get to anything grand.
So Kobe,
got to wait for that Tom and Dan IPO, right?
I know, right? I know. We keep waiting.
So Kobe, we all know like seemingly AI is primarily used right now as far as
marketing.
For marketing purposes.
For recommendation, it is. There are many, many, many use cases. A couple that I can, talk about just
Please.
because we have press releases out there, so I don't feel bad talking about it. Like if you look at certain computer vision models, like being able to process rapidly 10K by 10K images to be able to do things for medical classification. So say analyzing CT scans, MRIs, things of that nature, trying to detect cancer or looking at brain anomalies. That type of work is going on. The government uses it a lot in military applications.
Sure.
If you look at it, there's probably, I would say on average, about 100 to 200 new artificial intelligence models for very specific tasks that come out weekly by, PhD students. Half of your comp sci PhD students, that's what their papers are on, are different artificial intelligence models.
Huh.
Is there anything that we use AI for that people don't really think about? I know that they've been trying to use models and stuff in gambling, and they've been trying to get it more accurate. And very big in the gaming industry, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be one area where I feel like it would be almost like naturally right.
The problem is that there's just so much luck and anomaly involved with a lot of games that it's hard. You can only get so close. I mean, with predicting an outcome.
Yeah, well, given the cost of the equipment to train these models, it's typically not going to be your gamblers that are going to be using it. It is going to be your casinos, your sports books, and stuff like that. And what they're trying to do is trying to analyze to get people to bet more, to spend more. So that's where it's really being leveraged inside the gaming industry. Everything from, the layout of a casino floor to optimize the best slot machines to keep your grannies there longer and things of that type nature.
Well, all the games in a casino, that's all math. You can't beat math. Like, they know exactly how.
That's all AI is math.
Yeah. No.
It is completely predicated off of linear algebra.
It just, when you start going into sporting events, there's math involved as well, but there's
factors. There's different things that happen there that change the math, right?
Yes, you could actually win in sporting events because it's not just roulette. Like, there's roulette's just math. It's like
right.
Blackjack's just math.
What's the hardest part of what do you do?
Probably the hardest part of what I do is you have to constantly adjust. So being a startup, the entire company sometimes has to shift on a dime to market trends.
Right.
So if our business development folks, that's what we call our sales guys, if our business development folks are out there and say, listen, this sort of approach or this sort of marketing isn't working, we need to get in here, or all of a sudden, like, probably, the most popular and most talked about AI model today is called GPT. And, basically it's a natural language processing algorithm. And
you down with GPT?
You're down with GPT, exactly.
Yeah,
And so, when that became the hot thing, basically we took an entire section of our engineering team and say, this is what you're working on, and you're not done until you deliver. So basically they dropped every single project they had, and that's all they went and worked on.
Kobe.
That's what Tom and I do. I'll run in there. I'll be like, Tom, Dare Taylor dropped a new video. Drop everything. He'll run in here. We'll start watching it.
So, can you explain that supercomputer that they're trying? Is it called like a quantum intelligent or a quantum computing?
Supercomputer is a way overused word. Basically, it winds up just being an array of compute power that allows you to be able to submit and process multiple jobs and hopefully run them, quickly, and accurately, because it doesn't matter how fast you are if you're not accurate when it comes to this stuff.
Well,
but the quantum computing is sort of what a lot of people are working on, but just it is so cost prohibitive right now, because some of these quantum computers, you got to keep at sub-zero temperatures. and things of that nature. So most data centers really are not equipped to deal with them. So there's a very large barrier of entry to quantum computing.
Can you simply explain it to me? Because the way I read it, basically regular computers have to compute in a linear path, like basically your X's and O's, that it has to go one direction. Like it can only go so fast.
This is going in all directions,
and basically compiling on top of each other, kind of similar,
almost like torrent style.
There's a lot in regular computing. There's a lot of context switching. So I'm going through and I'm running a thread on a CPU. Okay, I got the results of that calculation. I need to hand the result back to memory.
Yeah.
Okay, the next strike can go in while I'm doing that, and a lot of context switching back and forth. And our company and what we designed, we're not quantum computing, but we actually created an architecture to where you go through and you lay out what's called a graph on our processors, and basically it just sits there and runs, and you just feed the data through it. So
cool.
So all this large amount of data just flows through it. Then with the quantum computing, and I'm not an expert in that area, so you'll have to forgive me. But yeah, it's something similar where it basically eliminates a lot of that context switching to where it can go through and on the actual I don't even know if they call it the processor, to be honest with you, but on the actual compute it can do something similar. But once again, it's got such a high barrier of entry as far as cost and setting up your environment that our systems can run in a standard data center today.
That is so crazy.
So, Kobe, with what you know, is it logical to say that in the future, and maybe not too distant future, we'll be able to have a computer that emulates a human brain well enough for us to not even know? For instance, like if I'm,
it's called the Turing test.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I do not think that we will reach where something will pass the Turing test in our lifetime. Now, mind you, things are just growing by leaps and bounds almost every single week. So I could be wrong with that prediction, but I just think that it's the subtlety of human emotion that's going to be impossible to catch.
Was anybody else like me? Because I'd like to do a test in your own mind right now. If you were sitting in your car or wherever you are listening to this, and when Kobe said that he does not think that it will happen in our lifetime, how many people went, "Phew, I feel better"? I did, right? I did, and I don't even know this guy. I mean, I know him, but I don't know him. But you put me at ease. I think we're good.
Well, I was disappointed. I want
because you want to be fighting a robot.
No. Well, because
yes, you want to test your strength against robot strength. That's what you want to do.
There's nothing.
You tell me that once a day.
There's nothing that leads me to believe that we would let because I feel that we would. This is like we have nuclear weapons. We haven't blown each other up yet, right? I figure when we make computers and we finally get to the point where computers surpass humans. We've already
just make them our friends.
We've kind of already gotten there.
Tuck them into mountains like nukes.
It's just
let them rust.
We'd put protections in place so they wouldn't kill us all. Why would they do that?
But what if they got a hold of the nukes? What if we combine the two?
Well, why would they do that?
Yeah, well, if you eventually build AI that's smart, it'll probably work its way around the protections.
They can live through the nukes, so that's going to be a problem.
Well, it's just I just have faith in the people that think of these things. They'll be smart enough to think.
I don't want to have
ways
that
for them to
scenario.
not.
Next thing you know, I got Randy Quaid in a biplane. He's fighting off the robot.
It's like the airline pilot. Like I trust that he don't want to die. You know what I'm saying?
Except for that one guy.
One guy.
That one guy.
There's always one guy.
One guy.
But that's fine.
Yeah, what was he? He was over the Alps or something. He's like, I'm out of here.
So, Kobe, when do you think we can get to a point where, like, you're talking to a AI voice?
I do that now.
And you won't be able to immediately know that it's a robot. Like right now, we're
close. That one lady got you the other day, man, on the phone.
Because I feel like even with human emotion and how complex it is, and now we're talking about chemicals and like ups and downs and things impossible to I guess compute, but you could probably work it in an algorithm close enough where it can mimic emotion close enough to where if you built a robot and put the AI in his brain or in his computer chip.
We're looking for a close enough.
It's probably closer than a lot of weirdos that you know.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
you didn't want to say yourself?
Yeah.
Are you asking, is the question, Tom, that we can build a robot that's more emotional than you are? Is that the question?
Well, that would be easy.
I think that was the question. He just is programmed to not say his own name.
Well, I could over-exaggerate emotion and be closer to an emotional person than...
See, this may be an unpopular opinion, but Kobe, did you see the video, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, of the robot that they had with all the crazy facial expressions?
No, I did not. I'll have to look that up.
It's real big, and everybody's like freaking out, saying, oh my God, they've done it. I didn't think it looked that great. Like, I didn't look at it and instantly go, oh, wow, it mimics a human. I just thought, it was silicone, and they made its cheekbones and its brow move.
Yeah.
Because that's important to, like giving out, I know
emotion,
I'm very expressive. I know that it would be hard to duplicate me. Like, when I looked at it, I was just like, because Hall of Presidents 2.0, it's the same crap.
Kobe, I want to think we're all like super complicated humans that we're all dumb animals if you break it down, and like even yawning and things like that.
I love yawning.
Like why it's contagious or why people yawn. They're just mimic some evolutionary thing that we did where we mimic each other to try to get closer to each other or whatever, to like language tied into that. Anyway, I'm thinking you could program that in where it's like if the robot detects a human is telling or is like emotional through his facial features, it's just gonna mimic that. Just like we've all evolved to do. You know what I'm saying?
Ugly, sad face robot. There we go.
Exactly.
I feel like you can get pretty close to like emotion just by mimicking other human emotion, and like that can all be written
you're
in.
Just describing what you do.
Yeah, and that's what the thing with these larger and larger models. It's just taking in more and more subjective parameters to try and reach that. And as far as actually getting, a bot to a point for conversational AI with a voice, you could actually help accelerate the process. If you have an Alexa device, you can sit there and play with what's called the Alexa Challenge. So basically, it's all these different students and different people that write algorithms, and they feed them through Amazon, and you can go through and actually have conversations with Alexa, and then depending on which algorithm you got, if you thought it's good or bad, then you can sit there and basically give it a rating score on how well it did, and then that's how they're improving those algorithms. So you could actually participate in the process.
Right, it's free labor.
Exactly.
Because it's interesting for you. You sit at the house. Like my daughter does. I'll catch my daughter just sitting there talking to Alexa, and I'm like, you're part of the problem. You're making them smarter. Get the hell away from that thing. Stop talking to it. You're making it. It's not like a plant. Plants, plants don't pick up our language.
Well, in the way it is, you sit there, you talk to it, you nurture it, and it grows, right?
I don't know, but my plants aren't going to kill me.
Kobe, I guess this is a question not so much for you, but just in general about the way we're going and like concerns. So, like, obviously, it's more beneficial for companies to market products to the people that are going to buy them, that are interested in them, instead of wasting their money marketing to people that are never going to buy their products. And that's what we've seen with the internet and everything, and social media, and Alexa listening to you what you like and following your search patterns and like marketing to you stuff that you actually want, right? Instead of, we all know that it works. But is there too much of that to the point where in the future we're only being surrounded by our own likes and never being exposed to any new stuff that we don't even know? Like, I mean, we all have gotten into new things and bought stuff that we've never been interested in before just because we saw it and we're like, oh, maybe I'll try this. And are we losing that in the future just seeing and being surrounded with only stuff that we like,
Yes.
kind of in a bubble.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, and you even see that day to day, in in the political discourse or just the societal discourse on social media. When you're fed a continuous stream of just everything that is just the way that you think, there's no chance for you to learn and grow.
So, do you think we'll start having regulation where it's going to be
No.
mandatory for all humans to be exposed to new things and beyond what they like because
I can't see that
that's
happening,
healthy
buddy.
for our
No,
brain? No.
you have to disconnect from technology and just go somewhere you've never been. Like,
But there will be
you
people
know,
that don't do that.
Well,
though.
we're dead, Kobe. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You're saying
We're
that.
all going to
Yeah.
die
You're saying-
because
yeah.
no one has the willpower or the strength to ever go out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, they're not
or
going to
do-
unplug from this.
Or do anything healthy for
this is
them.
great.
Or expose themselves to anything new.
Well, this is instant dopamine right here. Why would I go outside?
Everybody wants confirmation for their own biases and only wants to see what they believe.
Let me look
and
at my
we're
device.
dead.
Yes, I'm right.
We're
staying
gonna
inside.
die.
Yeah. Well, this was my favorite weird job. So you make a lot of money doing that. You do good, right? Because
What do you make?
I'm doing well. I'm just under 200. but I took a little-
Oh yeah, we're all gonna die. You're gonna laugh your way to the bank, you mother effer. We're all dying. Kobe's a sweet 200K.
Well, should I get my smartest son a computer so he starts learning
That's
something?
what I did with my daughter. I didn't want to weigh in, but I have my daughter. I don't tell her to stop talking to Alexa. I go, that's your best friend. Learn it. Learn it and love it.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, tech skills are going to be required in the future. Even with a lot of jobs that are non-tech now, these companies are always trying to find ways to save money, and the way they do it is through automation and artificial intelligence. So, if you want a job in the future, it probably is a very good idea to have some tech skills, or the opposite, to have some service industry skills, because the service industry won't go away.
It's going to be a tough road for our lifters.
Well,
if
what
you know what I
about-
mean? Like, I'm a lifter. No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
lifters. We
Yeah,
built
yeah, yeah.
lifters that are cheaper than you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they
They'll
don't
work.
complain. They don't get hooked on pain pills. They're not fat.
Yeah.
They're not.
They'll work 24 hours a
Yeah,
day.
they never stop.
Yeah. And then we work them to death,
Yeah.
and then we just throw them to the scrapyard.
Well, not even the death. When they're
Skilled labor will always be required as well.
That's what I've been talking about. I'm talking about lifters. It's a hard
Yeah.
run for lifters
Yeah.
right now. because-
Lifters, drivers, anything easy.
Yeah.
If a robot arm can do it,
Oh, man. And the
watch
best
out.
thing about a robot, one of their arms breaks, you just come in there, you put a new one on.
Yeah.
You can't do that
Well,
with a
they got 10 arms. So
Yeah. Oh, my
whatever you
God.
want.
You break one, I got 9.
Oh, yeah. It's the last generation of lifters.
This show is dedicated to you know what? We're dedicating this show to the lifters
yeah.
out there. Hats
Exactly.
off, lifters.
We cannot live without them. Like, for example, I've used BDMs. Like, I needed some work done on a house I just sold, and so I leveraged the BDM because it's way outside my skill set. I was like, I can't replace that door.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that's safe. But if you're just like, I need this box moved, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're done.
Although, there'll always be lifters, and they'll probably just be given some
Like,
universal
hey, man,
income, right?
Move this box. A robot's more expensive. All right. Get over here, crackhead lifter. Are you cut rate lifters, or you're saying we're gonna use those people?
No, I'm just saying that they'll probably have to just be given money to live if you're like, if you can
Well,
only
no,
live.
they go into the camps.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the
lifter
camps. I
camps,
forgot
yeah.
about the camps.
Yeah,
All
lifting
right,
camps.
yeah, that's
It's
good.
a lot more fun than it sounds.
Write that down.
All right, this is starting to go a bit dystopian here.
It did
Oh,
go
come
a
on,
little
Kobe. You
dystopian.
know.
Soylent Green is people,
Yeah.
and it always has
When
been.
you're sitting there behind your computer, you're like, there'll be camps.
Yeah. And you look out your window.
and you're causing it. You're doing it right now.
Yeah, your robots are building
Not-
the lifter camp.
Not my fault. I'm trying to make the lifters laugh. You're
Yeah.
putting them out of a job.
Dare I say I uplift the lifters.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm an uplifting lifter. Oh, wait, I'm a lifter uplifter.
All right, Kobe. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys.
Love you,
All right,
buddy.
have a wonderful day.
You too,
Bye.
buddy. Be good, Kobe. All right. That was good. Except for the lifter part. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I think camps is the way to go for the lifters.
No, you just have to you have to find
We
something.
get them a new skill. What is closest to what they do that's a variation of lifting?
You'd have to, I imagine, build in some sort of universal income.
Because, what I'm talking about, and this is not shots fired. I'm not trying to be harsh, but, there is a company called, what is it, 4 boys in a truck or something? What is the thing? 4 men in a truck?
2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 robots in a truck. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's coming for you.
Although
It's going to start. Eventually it's going to be 1 man and a robot in a truck, right?
Yeah,
That's when you know it's coming. When they change it to a man, a robot in a truck.
Yeah.
And the robot's doing all the work. The man's just kind of there to run the robot, I feel like, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, most likely we'll
College
be dead.
hunks haul junks. It'll be college-themed robots hauling junk.
We'll be dead. Everybody listening to this will be dead. But it will get to a point where robots will do everything easy. Why wouldn't they? Every corporation is going to be, they're driven by money. That's going to be cheaper than having humans do it, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And then, but I look at it optimistically instead of the crushing your Robux, crushing your
They're
skull.
going to be your friends.
No, well, just.
You're going to be able to relate to them, right? You're going to they're going to be like, we're like you.
Hopefully humans will figure it out, and then the humans that don't have any work or job to do, maybe you make them do some sort of community service or help, you know what I'm saying? Like do some sort of community service to earn their universal income to help us all. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Someone smart will figure it out,
so
right?
the robots are doing the lifting now, and the lifters are just walking the streets picking up trash.
Well, they're doing a form of lifting.
No, I will
And I don't know.
down on them. I will be like, these robots are doing more than you're doing. You're just picking
well-
up trash. Do something worth the while. Stupid lifters.
No, well, we could get robots to pick up trash. Like,
Well, then you've just eliminated what you gave to the lifters. What are lifters
well,
going to do
other
now?
community service and some other aspect,
Community
like
service?
work on.
So that's their job? They went from
No,
lifter to
I
community
don't-
service person.
Focus on your kids. I don't know, like some other.
Well, wait a minute.
You gotta. Everybody
Then I
has to
wanna
have
be a
some- yeah. Well,
Because basically what you're saying is the robots are eliminating my job, so I get to just live off of the government and then take care of my family. That's what I want to do now.
well, I don't know. In some way to service the community and help our
Art.
community.
I'll paint-
Yeah, and the whole thing.
paint some
Not
murals.
everybody's an artist. I
I'll
don't-
paint some murals.
I'm just saying.
couple of murals.
I'm guessing it'll gradually, slowly happen, and people smarter than me will figure out
then they'll
how
die
to keep
off.
it good. Well, I'm just saying, like they'll figure it out, right? I mean, we all figured it out.
But
You
if we
figured
all,
it out.
but if we all take the
It doesn't have to be
idea-
doomsday.
Well, I don't think it's going to be doomsday, but I think there are going to be a lot of sad lifters out there. Sad.
Well, you just evolve into something else. But I'm saying it would have to probably be something that just betters the human species.
What else can you do with a back brace? The big black back brace.
Well, you have a robot back brace, which will eventually get you.
Have you seen those? They make those now where it's like one man can get in like a miniature, alien suit,
Yeah, robot suit. Yeah.
and he can go and lift up like 5,000 bricks. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
cool.
It's
It's like a pair of stilts.
Like an exoskeleton.
Yeah, but he can lay back, and it like makes his legs so they don't explode. Like he can hold like as much as you want.
Yeah.
And my robot legs got it.
I mean, maybe
That's the kind of cohesion I like between humans and robots. I like it when they get
Yeah.
together. I don't like it when we're on opposite sides.
Dude, you start looking into bots and things like that, and like what they eventually believe that
Nanobots.
you can make
I already
humans
got those in me.
live for way longer, and cool stuff that if you look at it in a positive, it doesn't always have to be.
You'd be like one of those guys that wear Google Glass, right?
No, I'm dying off. This is it for me.
Yeah.
Like
You're a word lifter.
Well, this is all. Yeah, this is all I can do. I'm coming
I
in.
know.
There's not much more.
No, I have no other skill set.
Yeah. So we'll
Name
ride this
something
out.
else I can do.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know what you.
There's
I
no-
don't even
there's
know
not.
what you
This
do
is
now.
it. I know.
You
I
don't know
don't-
what I do.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't.
this is it. But I think it'll be okay. It'll all turn out fine.
I like your positivity.
Yeah. I mean, because why think the opposite? What are you going to worry about? The future. Nothing you can do about it, right?
Who worries about the future? That's anybody's guess. Ain't no reason for getting all depressed.
Oh, write that down.
Pick up your pad and paper. I'll give you a piece of my mind. From my opinionation, the sun is going to surely shine. Blossom theme song. Does anybody else know the Blossom theme song?
Yeah.
Pop quiz, hotshot. What's her name? Real name. You can't
Is
say
it Jody?
No, you can't say the actress that played Blossom. What's her real name? And it's not Jody.
I have no idea. How would I know that?
It's Mayim Bialik.
Oh, okay. No. I know there's Joey, Blossom's brother.
But you called her Jody. You thought Joey from Blossom was Jody. That's how dumb you are. The robots are coming, man.
Well, it's not my fault. It's Kobe's fault.
Kobe,
Anyway.
Jody, Kobe.
All right. Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
We got new merch on tomanddan.com. Order before the 17th, or at least on the 17th, or by the 17th, to get your merch before Christmas.
Yeah, you want to definitely do that if you're getting something from tomanddan.com.
We've got hammocks. We've got White Claw beer tubes. We've got BDM front license plate frame.
New hats, new
plates.
shirts.
Yeah.
What else is on there? Belts.
Bandanas. Dop kit, makeup kit.
Those
drug
bandanas
bag.
are dope.
Yeah,
They're really
yeah.
nice. They're like a good quality. And that is not a rough bandana. It's a soft bandana.
I just changed my Dop kit out yesterday. And,
Don't talk about it.
I like our bags because they're big. I'm like, my Dop kit, I always have to stuff full.
Yeah, we like big bags.
With all my weed pills, because I got to get the sativa, the indica.
Yeah, anybody
then some
knows
extra.
if you're going on any trip, you get your Dop kit, you throw
Yeah.
3 things in there. You throw toothbrush, you throw deodorant, and you throw all your weed pills. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah. And then I have to have like Adderall. I got a bunch of
Oh,
drugs
yeah,
in
you
there.
do have. We'll put it in your weed pill jar.
Yeah.
But what's
Yeah,
most
yeah.
important? Your Adderall and all of that? Your blood pressure? No, weed pills.
I don't take blood pressure anymore.
Oh, you used to.
Fat.
You're the only person on this show that's ever had blood pressure medicine, though. That's a fact, and it
Yeah.
stands.
Well,
And
that was when I was a
you
super
know what?
fat.
And you make fun of me all the time for being the oldest, and I'm 45. I am the oldest, but I have yet to ever have to take some old man,
I
big
didn't-
fat tub of crap blood pressure pills.
I didn't even need to
You-
be on it.
Oh,
My
yeah,
doctor
yeah,
just gives
yeah,
out
well,
pills
yeah.
like crazy.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
He does?
Like my blood pressure, it
You and Louis Anderson, same drugs.
never got higher than like 140 over 90.
I'd have to see the documentation, but I've never had one of those pills touch my lips.
Yeah.
It's disgusting that you took that.
And then I talked to
A
other people.
young man in your prime taking blood pressure medicine. What's wrong
They're
with
like,
you?
my base is 140 over 90. I'm like, oh God. And I freaked out. Anyway, all right, let's do it.
All right.
Nerds. Jack. Nerds. Jack. Nerds.
Jock, nerd.
So old.
Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
Good. How you guys doing tonight or today?
Tonight, what the hell's wrong with it? Is EJ older than you? He's older than you, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just turned 41.
Yeah. Wait, I'm still 39. So now let me get the rules straight because a bunch of people freaked out. They're like, EJ got this wrong. They try to cancel your bid
Yeah,
again.
their bit now. Okay, this
Yeah.
is gonna
See,
hurt.
they
This is
cancel
gonna
is
hurt
what
your
it is.
feelings.
Okay,
This is gonna
good.
hurt your feelings. But what's most important with this bit is whether it airs or not the bit. Like they're so invested in the character of ruining your bit and not wanting it to play and how bad it is and the drama behind it that they don't even listen to the bit. The bit is now secondary to the drama around the bit.
So if we ask EJ a secondary question about his story,
It's called a follow-up.
Yeah, a follow-up, and that this maybe not really directly related to the story, and he gets it wrong. I don't really count that because now we're,
I do.
Because you
I do
can't know
count that.
everything. Like, well, of
I
course,
do count that.
like you
Everything
know,
counts in life, Tom.
but you should tell
There
people
are no second chances.
you think, or you're speculating, or this is a guess instead of.
So what I'm going to have to do is ask. These are only the questions you could ask me. Submit your questions in advance before you ask.
Well, no, if we say something, you should just say, I don't know about that. You don't have to go all in. You don't have to be like, yes, definitely, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can just be like, I don't know the answer to that. I don't want to misspeak.
But if you present to us wrong information, that's when you
it's
get
on the
penalized.
table.
There we go.
It's on the table.
Let's start, EJ. What do you got first?
You know what? Let's start off with the video I sent you guys. This guy is my new favorite football player. It's Joey Bosa that plays for the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm familiar
Is-
with Bosa. He is a beast of a man. And
Yes.
an excellent player, and here he goes. It is entitled on YouTube as the most disrespectful celebration I have ever seen.
All right.
There's Bosa. There it is.
All right,
First sack for the Chargers
He
today.
gets the sack.
And Justin
strip
Jones
sack.
may have jumped
Yeah,
on
he
top
doesn't
of
get
the
the
football.
fumble.
He did. Joey Bosa.
So, what? Okay.
I don't even know what
Definitely
that.
doing the Call of Duty Halo teabag.
Oh,
is what he's
okay,
doing.
yeah. Where you drop your butt on the person. Okay, you know what?
And he's getting away with it. It's basically taunting, but he's getting away with it because the referees don't know what it is.
Well, he is smart enough to know that if he goes over the head of dumb old man, then he's fine.
Yeah.
Well
That's
done.
good.
Exactly.
Good job, Bosa.
Normally, I'm not okay with this, but I got to give him a big high five to Bosa.
Also, remember the taunting rule. You're allowed to celebrate, but you can't. If he would have done that over the quarterback's head, obviously,
then he's basically pooping on it.
Yeah.
but
So doing
that's called
that,
the Nicki Minaj.
doing the weirdo bounce thing, and even though he's
Well,
doing
it's not a bounce.
he's emulating a video game teabag. Okay, fine.
I got full transparency. I got to say this. I'm gonna stop saying full transparency. By the way, next year, totally transparent. I mean, fully parent. I don't know how you do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. So here's when
I think you're going clear is what he wants.
I was playing the new Halo online.
Yeah.
It's out now, and I was playing it, and some kid killed me, and then immediately started doing the poop on me thing. Like they all do it.
Yeah.
Like any game you play.
I like that.
And
I like
it makes me so mad. It never not makes me mad. It'll make me not want to play online if anybody does that to me. Like the way that I'm engineered, if you want to ruin my playing experience, if you snipe me, whatever, you take that weird sword thing that everybody likes in Halo, you start chopping me good, and then you start doing the poopy thing on me, I'm out. I will throw my controller. I'll turn it. I'll rage. I will rage.
No, you deserve it. You lost. That's how it works.
You're an evolved human. I can't
they're shoving it in your face. You deserve it.
I can't handle it.
It's kind of like
I'm too much of a baby.
Last night was the last week of the regular season in our fantasy football league, and our league was so close.
It was a great year. I wish I'd made the playoffs.
I was first in the East, and I lost against Daniel last night, and it dropped me down to fourth. Because all the records were so close,
so tight.
And I eked in with the same record Daniel has just because of points, and two other people had the same record I had.
It was just too tight,
and it was just points. It, literally, we finished the season with 7 or 8 people having the same exact record, which I can't remember ever happening before.
I started strong and then fell off, and Kyle Pitts and Mahomes mid-season.
And EJ, it seems
Didn't
like
do anything, yeah.
Speaking of how many different playoff paths there are for each team, this season has been way more competitive than other NFL seasons that I remember, right?
Yeah, there's 3 teams that are 10-3 in the NFC. It's like the Cardinals, the Packers, and oh man, I don't know who the third one is. So to keep my bit safe, I won't say it.
Rams. Rams beat the Cardinals last night.
Did I lose you?
Yeah,
the Rams. Yeah, maybe it's the Rams.
It's the NFC seems
What?
like. Are you there, EJ? Oh man.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You know what the world needs? More Zoom.
No.
We need more Zoom.
Next story.
Okay, next story. Let's talk about what I was right about. Did you guys bet on Bryce Young winning the Heisman, like I told you to?
Oh, his connection has gone sideways.
No, I did not, because again, I don't know anything about college, and I don't trust you whatsoever.
It was kind of a shoe-in, right? It was kind of a lock. I mean,
it was definite money. I think you would have to put $100,000 to win $100, but still, it's worth it, I guess.
No, it is not worth it.
It's not worth
It's
it.
definite money.
You know
That's exactly the opposite of worth it.
You know, for what you just said, that is wrong, and now we have to cancel your bet because of what you just said. That is not fact.
That's opinion it's relative.
Risking $100,000 for $100 is not worth it at all. You should never place that bet, because there's always a chance you why would you do that?
Yeah, it's a huge risk.
That's called a bridge jumper bet, which is interesting because there are some times where it actually is worth it to bet huge favorites that are almost guaranteed. Only usually in college, because it's less competitive.
That's the only time I've ever heard you use that term.
But the problem is,
you don't bet a lot of college, do you?
No, I don't know enough. And anyway, so he won the Heisman. Is he getting drafted in the NFL?
No, he's a sophomore, so he has to at least play one more season.
All right. But he has the option though to like stop and be.
Oh, he could
drafted.
sit out. Yeah, he could sit out next year and go to the draft the following year.
I would sit out and just start training and getting myself in peak performance.
Yeah,
I
NFL can. Yeah,
I mean, what am I gonna go? I'm gonna go to parties. I'm living on campus. Why would I even do that?
Or even risk yourself like playing in games that you could be
Wouldn't do
hurt
it.
and you're losing out on millions. You know what I'm saying? Like
I wouldn't do it.
think about.
I'd find a training facility that I like. I'd get an apartment near it, really nice. And I just set myself up for success, man. And then I would know that draft is my ticket. And anything after that's just gravy. Let's say the first game you play after you got drafted, you're a millionaire and you break your legs, right? You're still a millionaire and you did it.
That's going to start happening, I think, especially based on what happened last year because of COVID and players sitting out. And a lot of players that sat out the whole year still got drafted to the NFL. And there was a lot of people talking ass like, oh, this is going to hurt their chances.
All of them were talking ass.
And guess what? The NFL billion-dollar corporations are smart enough to realize, like, nope, still a good athlete, still has kept his training regimen up. Doesn't matter that he played. We still want that athlete, and they still took him. And I'm not exactly sure what players did. And I think Jamar Chase, some players that are doing fairly well in the NFL did it, and they're fine. So I imagine players like will opt to possibly take their, if they know that that's their path and they already have scouts talking to them, that they may choose just not to play their last college years or whatever. Why do it?
I'm surprised they haven't shifted and changed to even the draft. Like, who cares? Like, why do I have to? I go to college, they see me, they know what I'm worth. I'm going to pull myself out of college and I'm just going to work a deal on my own.
Why?
Why are they even using a college draft? I don't want to get drafted. F your draft system. I'm out of your system. I'm just a really good athlete. I'm a broker my own deal with the NFL. Why can't you do that?
You can. But it's the NFL. It still has to. If they draft you, even though you're not from a college, that's still a draft pick. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't want to do that. So I don't want to adhere to their system at all. I'm just here I am. I'm good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Come get me.
It would just be sitting out your college career or your last years in college.
I think I would.
Because why not?
I don't owe anything to that
no,
college.
Hell no.
I don't want to get hurt in a college game.
Yeah, and then not get drafted and lose out on millions of dollars. It just
and both of us are college, graduates. But I am in this scenario completely anti that system. That's stupid.
If you know your path is the NFL, and a lot of these players, like they know from when they get it, they know from high school. Like let's be honest, like. The drafting process starts in high school, and they're looking at high school players coming out of high school and prospects and stuff. Like they know where they're they know what they're doing, their training elements, like whether or not they play actual football may or may not even make a difference in college, right? Like because I guess there's some game reps that are important for flow of the game, and I don't know. You tell me, EJ. I mean, what do you think?
Well, the only example I have is Willis McGahee. He got hurt in our Fiesta Bowl before he went to the draft, and it cost him millions of dollars. I think he fell like 20 draft spaces because he blew out his knee in the final game. So there's a lot of players that are taking the bowl games off because they don't mean anything unless you're playing for the championship. So they're like, let me just wait till the draft and I'll be ready.
You know what's really getting interesting to me is that you've got guys that are taking off time from like bowl games and stuff like that to enter the draft. Then you've got guys that have brokered big time deals within the NFL that are taking times off for their own mental health. The game is changing in all different facets. You got people that don't even, they're just like, not even worth doing this. It's driving me crazy. It's too much pressure on me. I'm out.
Well, player empowerment has been a big thing, and it started in the NBA especially. But, and it makes sense. It's like these players know what they're worth, and they know they're playing for, eventually for a giant corporation. And the whole, do what's best for your team, and like you got to go out there and win, and all this the cliches of sports. Like people are smarter than that nowadays, and they're realizing they're like, what does all this other nonsense mean? For me, it's about how much money can I make for me and my family, and that's most important. Right. And these corporations, they don't care about me. Even the colleges, like they're all corporations too. They don't give a damn about like me and my family. They give a damn about winning and the money, right? It's like, so why don't I give a damn about that? And that's what's starting to happen. And the whole, like, you should do this just because it's always been done like this, or for some sort of,
No,
you know,
that doesn't work anymore.
pride,
Yeah,
or,
no.
you know, all this, all the
Loyalty
nonsense.
to the corporation, loyalty to the university, whatever. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
What
Especially
else you
when
got?
you're making likeness money now. You're making millions of dollars on the side while you're playing college football when they were making that money off you in the first place, which is like, they should have been doing this years ago. They should have done this when I was in school.
So, you know what's interesting? I heard on a podcast the other day, there's a new controversy with college players getting paid and them working the system, and I'll explain. So, apparently in Texas and some college programs, there's companies and boosters and stuff getting together, shell companies, basically like a bunch of boosters of a college putting all their money in an LLC, and then having that LLC guarantee, like, whoever comes to this college, all the starting linemen are getting $50,000 a year, right? To attract prospects to come to their college, because and they're calling
What's wrong with that?
Well, here's
it's a loophole in the like BYU and Miami's are under investigation for this.
Well, then button it
Because
up.
it's
But
like a
until it's
pay-to-play
buttoned, I
thing.
say game on.
well that
You wrote the law.
Here, the whole point was for the players to get paid, but I see what, like, the NCAA is saying, like, well, this is not our intention. Our intention wasn't for boosters to pay or to make it, attractive to recruit.
It affects recruiting, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is like
Either way, the kids are getting paid, right? What do I care whether or not what team they go to?
But also, guess what else affects recruiting? Like teams like Alabama, that everybody wants to go win a national championship, and that affects the recruiting. And the fact that they're getting NFL attention, and like players are already going to colleges that will best help their career. So why wouldn't players go to like a college that they can make $50,000?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course you would.
Like, so, and technically, it's still under the whole umbrella of you're helping these players make a living, right, and make money. So who cares if it's coming from boosters? But the argument is now you're affecting basically the quality of player that's coming to a team based on, attracting them with money. But that's what's always going to happen with sponsorships.
Right. You're just moving it and naming it something different.
But it's interesting.
Well, and the NCAA has to like justify their existence. If they don't make little rules to say, hey, you can't do this, or why do we need the NCAA at all?
Well, that's a whole other argument too, where we've all been playing this game where we're like, if this is the system, college or football players go into college and they can get an education and maybe be drafted in the NFL, and it's all a facade. We've all known it. It's just a BS.
It's all a scam for sure. We've known for a long time.
So now they're trying to change rules, and they're like, well, this is not the intention. The whole thing was a facade to begin with. So it's going to be interesting where we're at in like 20 years from now and what we're doing. And
I think all of them will just be independent contractors.
Yes.
I mean, everything's just going to individuality, and you own everything, and the money just comes to you.
I mean,
they'll just be influencers playing in a football team.
I think our best athletes are going to be, scouted in middle school, right? And like the new, Mahomes or Derrick Henry, right? Derrick Henry, he goes to Oviedo High School or whatever. The NFL scouts are already going to be talking to him, and 20 years from now, they'll be like, listen, like, screw going to college.
I think they'll change the draft, dude. I think it'll be more like the system that they use in Europe for soccer.
Yeah.
I think it's a long time we've needed to implement that.
We're going to bring you to a running back camp that the NFL runs, and then you'll be trained, and then you'll go from there.
And the product will be better than it's ever been. I mean, if you look at South Korea, they do this with their boy bands and girl bands. They have like these farms set up where they get everybody, and everybody's together, and it's almost like a think tank.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the best because everything they do there is that. Imagine a NFL running back camp where all of the guys go to. That's so much better than any college you go to. It's the best of the best making the best.
Because you're learning exactly what you need to learn for your career. What the hell you need to be taking algebra for? Like if you're
But then
Derrick
what
Henry.
do colleges do? That's going to be the problem, right?
Well,
Colleges are going to be screwed.
Colleges,
I'm surprised the NFL hasn't wanted to cut out colleges, but it's too much money.
It's intertwined, yeah.
Dude, huge money, and they all
But if they
paying
could
each
find
other.
a way, think about that. If they were just getting the players straight to themselves,
colleges are scared S-less about this happening because the NFL definitely doesn't want to deal with any of the colleges, and they don't want all the Think about all these players. Like the NFL mindset is probably like, we own these players, they're ours, and then the colleges are leasing them and making money off them on their way to the NFL, right?
Right.
If the
they're
NFL,
going to end up there anyway.
Yeah, so they don't want that. The NFL can make money with Derrick Henry or whoever goes through the college system themselves and not the college. They'll take that. Like, they don't care about the damn colleges, right? And the colleges are like, we need those players for TV advertising revenue because that's why people are watching.
Yeah, it is going to be super interesting to see.
Anyway, next story.
Yeah, what else you got?
Okay, the last story I have for sports is have you been watching Steph Curry? He's going for the 3-point made record. I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow. I don't know, but it's against the Knicks. And he only needs 2 more 3-pointers to beat Ray Allen's record of 2,973 3-pointers for a career.
Well, I mean, like, how many more games are in the season? I mean, he's going to get this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's averaging like close to 4 3-pointers a game anyways. Like it took Ray Allen 1,300 games to get to that number. It took Steph Curry 788 games.
Where are
So he
we at
almost
with
beat him,
Steph
like,
Curry?
600 games.
We like him, right? Like, he's okay?
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah,
back.
Steph Curry's a cool guy.
And
yeah.
we're okay. We're back okay with Tiger Woods now? Because we
He's
feel
playing
like
with his son now. He's good.
yeah, but he played with his son.
Yeah.
But we feel like the car crash was the karma he needed. Is slap him around a little bit, and then we're like, okay, you paid your dues.
Yeah. Now he's playing with the son. He's like, good guy. Look at that guy.
Yeah,
He's playing with the son.
okay.
I like him.
Because we're okay with Vic.
Yeah.
We're okay with Woods.
Yeah.
Steph Curry never had an issue. We're good with him.
I mean, besides from his him cheating on his wife, that's between him and his wife. I don't give a damn
I
what the hell
know,
you know what
but
I'm
I mean,
saying?
it was a bad look. You know, it was a bad look. It's a bad look.
Yeah. I think everybody's like, all right, you you seem like you had
Okay,
a rough
Stephen
go.
hasn't done anything. The chat room saying Stephen hasn't done anything. Because
Yeah.
normally when EJ says anybody, it could be any star of any Marvel. It could be any sports star in the world. It could be himself. I'm going to think somebody there has some sort of sexual indiscretion. Somebody, right?
Yeah.
Not me.
Anybody in any headline is like, oh, what this person? Is it okay to like this person? Are they good or bad? Are they a good person or bad
Yeah.
person? A lot
I
of
like
bad.
Tom. I've only been with one woman my whole life.
I will root for
God,
Stephen
it
Curry.
sounds sad when you say it.
No, I like it.
I don't want to be associated with that.
I like it.
I'm gonna go and cheat on my wife.
Yeah. let me.
Yeah.
How hard would it be?
I asked for a hall pass for Christmas.
You did? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Oh,
God, and that poor person
Oh, my
that
God.
receives your hall pass. They're like, ew, yuck, I don't want your hall pass. Worse, hall pass, gross.
yeah. It's like getting a pass to go to the bathroom, but you walk out into another classroom. there's never a hall to go to.
It's like somebody hands me a free ticket to the poop festival.
So, you know what I don't like? I don't like when the players that get the record taken away from them act like they don't care. This happens a lot, at least in the NFL, where like Drew Brees is on the sideline and Tom Brady beats his record, and because they know it's going to happen, obviously they're like, well, obviously Tom Brady's going to throw for 100
he's
more
already
yards.
said he's going to play for 7 more years. I mean, what do you think's going to happen?
Unless someone breaks his femur before he gets there, like he's going to get there. But they act nonchalant about it, and I want them to be mad and fall to the ground and scream. No, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be more entertaining if they cared.
I enjoyed it. You know who used to do that are like comedians, like girls comedians, especially when they're doing like a Golden Globe or something. You know, they put all their pictures up. Like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, like they'll get all mad. Like, I like that.
But they're doing it for comedy.
I understand that, but I still like
better.
it.
Yeah.
I still like it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because they know what's funnier.
Yeah.
It's funnier if they act mad than just
And there's always truth in jest, right? Like, they're probably a little bit upset they didn't win it.
So these records, they matter to these athletes, right?
For sure. That's
They
your
act
legacy, dude, that you're stamping yourself in the stars.
So does Steph Curry?
Yeah, Steph Curry, that ball's probably going to get pulled right at the end of right as soon as he makes that 3-pointer. It's going to be a timeout. They're going to pull the ball from the game and like enshrine it in the NBA Hall of Fame probably.
But someone's probably going to beat his record because as the game evolves, they're going to like evolve more into like shooting 3-pointers because look what's happened in the past, 5 years. Like that's how it's evolved into. So I'm guessing in the future, they're going to be players that just like are really, really good at shooting 3-pointers because that's all they practice. And probably someone in the future will beat Steph Curry's 3-point record.
I don't think so.
No,
No,
because as opposed to like a Tom Brady, then you start looking at there's a lot of happenstance where like I don't know if someone ever will match the amount of Super Bowl wins and appearances that Tom Brady.
It depends on how it's a good example. The basketball example is a good example of what would need to happen to make Brady's record be beat. My point is that it depends on how the football game evolves, right?
You're right, but I guess in the future you start having a player that never gets tackled because Tom Brady went through his first 10 years of getting
That's an excellent
killed.
point. Yeah,
and then so now you can't even touch the quarterback. So the new. As talented as Tom Brady is, and people thought it was going to be Mahomes, but it's like, and it could still be.
Could be, yeah.
Mahomes could have a 25-year career and then maybe surpass Brady's record, but I guess as rule changes, like it becomes easier and easier to beat these records, right?
Oh, did we lose?
Okay. You froze? Are you froze, EJ?
No, I'm here. I'm still here. It keeps freezing. Yeah.
Next story.
You talk and then it suddenly goes. No.
Yeah. Let's jump to. Are we in nerd?
Okay.
Let's jump to nerd.
Yeah. Let's go to nerd. Okay. Did you see the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer yet?
I've seen.
I know your sons both liked it, Tom.
Yep, my sons have been excited about this. And
now that the hedgehog is dialed in and they know what they want it to look like, they're going to just pump these things out like crazy, right?
Well, it's important that, the first Sonic the Hedgehog, when we watched it, I was like, the writing's decent.
It's good. Yeah, it was a good movie.
Good actors.
It's not bad.
Like the actors were good, and like all in all, it was a good movie to watch. And I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be a dumb.
And Pikachu are both decent. They're decent.
Yeah,
those are both decent movies.
They're both well-written movies.
I can't crap on them. As far as kid movies, there are so many worse that you could get.
Yeah, and so this one's supposed to have Tails in it. My sons are excited, and I
like Tails.
I'm excited to watch it with
Tails and
them.
Knuckles.
Yeah. Okay. So when is it coming out?
It's coming out next year, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair.
Is it?
It doesn't bode for a good segment, but it's fair.
Is it going to theaters or going to be released straight on demand on a platform?
I don't know.
There it is. How's that feel? How's it feel?
That's kind of bad.
Yeah.
That the store you brought up, you have no idea anything about it.
That's what I'm trying to get him to understand.
Things
Hold on.
Change, and I could be wrong in the future.
Shut your mouth. This is a teaching moment. This is what I do with my daughter. I go, stop talking.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't bode well for your segment to not have the details. It's weird to bring things up. Like if I go to my wife and I go, hey, did you hear about that thing? And she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. I just wanted to have a segment. I just wanted to be in the spotlight. I got nothing.
I looked at, I like, the new Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out. I didn't bother to look out when or how
or where. Might be a couple years from now, but it's coming.
Yeah. On what platform or anything.
I got nothing.
All I have is basically just a sentence.
Full transparency, I read Tails and Knuckles, got excited, and stopped reading.
Is that true, EJ?
Well, Idris Elba is the voice of Knuckles. I have like little information.
Well,
like
you could. Now, here's what I would do. If I were given a segment on a blowtorch of a radio station like this from two friends, I would probably write the story down bullet points the night before, knowing that I wouldn't want to waste a full hour of their golden airtime.
I was at Ken Miller's toy drive last night doing charity, so I didn't have time to do bullet points.
No, here's excuses.
Homeless children.
Does Ken give you 45 minutes on a blowtorch of a radio station?
Yeah. You know who doesn't make excuses? Steph Curry.
Yeah.
No, that's why he's the best.
And he does Holy Moly, too.
I know.
It's a damn fine show. It's a damn fine show.
Executive producer to Holy Moly. Anyway, when is that coming out again?
I don't know. Soon. Should be soon.
All right, next story, EJ.
Okay, well, then let's bring up since we're all sad now, let's talk about Anne Rice passed away this week.
Yeah, the author of Interview with a Vampire and the Vampire Lestat. I read all those novels. One of the only authors that I've read just about all of her books. I like vampires. I still like vampires.
So, yeah, that's pretty sad. What did they say? How she passed away? Is she older? I'm like,
vampire bitter.
It's books, EJ. So you obviously know I don't know.
we haven't listened to the audiobooks. My wife used to read all the time.
I mean,
don't know
between
which
the lack of
best way
preparation
because I
and the
didn't
Zoom
read
call,
it.
I don't know what to do
Well,
anymore, man.
the Zoom call's not exactly EJ's fault, but just throw out the last story, EJ. Then me and Daniel.
Well, the last story is all the things that are coming out this week. Tomorrow, Hawkeye episode 5 comes out. Then Spider-Man comes out in the theaters on Thursday, and then Friday, Witcher season 2 is on Netflix.
I love it. That's a lot of good stuff to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
I'm excited for this weekend.
We have no one's at a lack of things to watch, right? Like, anybody like I got nothing?
I think that's the problem right now. Is that like when things are released, I don't really get excited for them because there's been so many. It's okay. It's the same thing that's happening for me with UFC. It's the same thing that's happening for me with any wrestling pay-per-view. There's just too GD many of them. Every weekend it's UFC. Every weekend it's like WrestleMania or a version of it. It's like it used to be that your best content was guarded and you kept it back, and then you really tried to put on a show. But we're so there's so much content now, and everything is so grandiose, and everything is touted as like being the best in the show, and it's not like there's nothing to get excited about. We're too addicted to it. We need to pull back. And we need to not have some content for a little while.
The only way to do that is to self-police.
You have to self-police. Yeah, you have to.
But then it doesn't really even matter because you could pull back and be like, all right, I'm not going to consume any of this, TV content. But you're still going to get back to it, right? Like, so even if you did that for a month, just to purge yourself or detox from all the content. You're still going back into a world of infinite content, and there's a month worth of content.
But I don't go backwards. See, that's the weird thing about me.
Oh, only new?
I have a very, very, very hard time. And I was listening to a guy on YouTube the other day talk about he has the same problem. For a video game, for instance, like this Halo Infinite. If I don't play it now, if I wait 3 months and then it's still on Game Pass and I can still get it, it's old to me, and I'll just get something new. I'll wait and get something new. I don't want to get the old stuff. Yeah. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am like that.
Well, it's fine because there's always going to be something new.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, this is made for me. But
it's better that you're like that than, oh man, I missed out. I got to go.
I never do that.
Because it will drive you crazy because you're always missing out. It's impossible to consume everything.
Yeah, so. I got 4 episodes into Squid Game, figured it out, read the ending, and stopped. I do that with everything. I'll just read the ending. I read the ending of everything. I'm like, I'll read the ending. My ending's better in my brain. My brain endings are always better than the real ending.
Yeah. All right, EJ. Your connection stinks, and you stink.
Okay. Your connection stinks, and you stink. I think we can handle that. Yeah. I care about you a lot. I love you. You're a good man. You and your family are good. You need to prepare more. That has nothing to do with the love that I have for you.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right,
love
you, buddy. All right, okay, get out of here. I'm over you today.
Maybe if we're mean to them, the listeners will start feeling bad.
I'm able to compartmentalize today. The love that I have for EJ as a friend and how much I care for that guy has nothing to do with the fact that I am irritated that he didn't know the names of all the damn Sonic stuff. If you're going to read an article about Sonic and presented on the show,
he didn't know when it was coming out.
You need to know all of that. Then why are you telling us? Hey, the new Sonic's coming out. Really? What's in it?
He knew Idris Elba was playing Knuckles. That was about it.
That's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
So, the endless content and I imagine
it drives me away from content. Like the more content that is produced for TV. Okay, a couple things for me. I'll just show you where I'm at, and you tell me if you can fit yourself into this, if you're like this at all, or whatever. All the Marvel stuff used to be cool, but there's so much of it now that I feel like it cheapens it. Like now that there's Marvel shows that I can stream, I got 100 of those to catch up with. I got Iron Fist, Iron Balls, I got Leather Girl, I got a Butterfly Woman, I got all this stuff. Yeah. It's all I got all that on Disney Plus that I can go to. I got all these movies that I could go, but there's so much of it. There's nothing. It used to be, and this is dumb old man rant, but it used to be when this thing came out, it was like the biggest, it was like nothing could even touch it. Avatar came out, boom, nothing can touch it. It is in its own class.
It was special.
But everything, the playing field is so level now that like you can go to Netflix and watch like that new Hawkeye show.
Yeah.
That's a good show for everybody. I've heard that Carlos is in it for the Monsters. That show, I've heard that show is a great show. That levels the playing field. That makes Marvel movies lower. Because I could just go to or whatever, Disney Plus, Netflix, wherever, and just get anything like it because everything is so even. It has driven me away because I'm like, well, there's nothing really truly special about this. So I'm just going to read books, or I'll just write my own story, or I'll just play music, now video games still have a certain level of exclusivity to me where it's like Halo Infinite, boom. You have to have an Xbox to play Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you cannot play it.
But you're also playing a game, which is it's not the same.
It's a different exchange.
You're the energy you're giving it is different, and it's a different dopamine to your brain, right, than watching a show. But I guess everybody's just going to be into their own stuff. If you're into comic book characters, you have unlimited content. If you're into sports, you have unlimited content. You just
Who's hurting for content right now? Anybody?
Nope.
Is there anybody right now who's like, you know what? I don't get enough.
No, it's impossible. I mean, how can you?
There's got to be some area that is not latched on or is not native to latching onto the technology aspect of what's happening right now in the world, right?
So as long as you had a internet connection, you don't even need to pay for any streaming services because there's enough streaming services that are free, like your network streaming services and stuff like that. Are they all free? There's enough. They're free and you get commercials, right? Like that's how they.
Yes.
You could pay to get not commercials or less or whatever. I'm just saying that even with YouTube and so like you could just have an internet connection and get unlimited entertainment.
Correct.
And good quality entertainment. It's not like you're...
Yeah, I could...
You couldn't get certain shows that everybody else is getting, but you can get enough...
But I think you could.
A similar show, right?
If you really wanted it. Like
you could steal them easily.
Yeah, well, we live in a time, I feel like, where if you just gave me... You locked me in a room. This is the challenge. You lock me in a room, you give me a basic internet connection, and you say you have to find whatever you normally watch. I'm not going to give you any streaming services whatsoever. You just have the internet.
And you got to find it for free.
And you got to find it for free. I can do it.
Yeah.
I can find anything I want. I'll never be bored.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll never be bored.
I mean, just through YouTube, there's enough content to...
I've kind of... You know what? I guess I am... Okay, I'm not dumb old man because the vast majority of what me and my wife watch is through YouTube. We watch a lot of YouTube content. I watch Maddie Matheson, the chef, Benny Blanco. They have a show called... Maddie and Benny Eat Out America that I watch on YouTube. I subscribe to a lot of like Xbox Live influencer guys that tell you like what's going on with different games and stuff like that. I watch a lot of that content because the other stuff is just so, I don't know. It's too...
You know what?
I don't even know how to describe what I'm feeling. It's just I get over inundated with like commercial content where the YouTube content are these like low-fi kind of or more... like relatable types of shows, they're better for me. I don't know what that is.
You know what I'm going to try to stop doing, and not that I ever have New Year's resolutions or anything, but I need to stop consuming garbage just to consume mindless garbage when I'm sitting on the couch or whatever, because I find myself...
Oh, yeah, I don't watch TV unless it's something I'm not saying this to say I'm the opposite of you, but Andrea and I only watch TV if we are watching TV. It's never just on. It is for Maisie, but not for me.
Well, I find myself like scrolling, and it's usually through TikTok, because I'll go to the BDM page and I'll look at what people are talking about, but I don't consider that garbage because I want to be connected to BDMs and see what they're talking about and stuff like that too, because that's our audience and that's who I want to be connected to and know what they're thinking. You know, I look at that like...
that makes sense.
Like that's valuable.
See what's going on. What's the vibe?
Like, even if it's people like posting garbage, it's still valuable data for me to collect because that's our audience. So that's our business.
Yeah.
So, but the TikTok data that I'm collecting is I'm scrolling through just garbage, and it's just like it's candy for my brain.
Well, the trends are useful for references in your humor.
The true.
So some of that, like you've done that before when you're like, you'll throw out a joke and you'll be like, but are you on TikTok? And then because you got that from TikTok,
people,
I would go, that's valid. Because
You're
that's
right.
funny.
I guess you're right.
But don't talk yourself out of that because that's funny.
Seeing trends and seeing what like SNL did a TikTok skit.
I saw that.
You know, where they're making fun of, and the only reason I found it funny because I saw
because you've seen it. It's relatable to you.
If I didn't consume the garbage, I wouldn't even understand what these jokes were.
I'm sure a lot of people didn't.
Yeah. So maybe there is some value there, is like being connected to what everybody's connected to, but maybe just lessening it and maybe compartmentalizing the time I do it, because I feel like I'll just go to it. If I'm sitting on the couch at the end of the night and like whatever, and I'm like, I'll just go to TikTok and just scroll through some garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, for 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a palate cleanser.
But I guess you're right. It is kind of valuable, especially to this job.
Yeah, for you seeing what the trends are is definitely valuable, dude. Like, I wish I had more time to see that kind of stuff. I'm not saying I'm going to spend my day on there. But it is funny to go through there and kind of see what's going on. You know, like with the way that no social media seems to truly play nice with each other. You know, it would be nice in the future if we had, a way to just put one thing out and it like formatted for everything perfectly. But that's just we're not going to get that because it's been consumerized, the consumerization of it, right? But
yeah.
But it would be fun if you could do that and just go in one spot. Like I use an aggregator at the end of the night. I go through and read all my Twitter and I try to read Facebook and everything and answer people if they have a question. You know, that's part of your job, I guess.
Yeah. No, commenting on posts and seeing what people are posting is important with this job, especially. But I'm trying to, like, there's got to be some sort of garbage that I can cut out. That the only reason I'm looking at it is because it's mindless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think there's a lot of waste.
I don't know. I don't see you do a lot of mindless stuff. Normally, when you're doing something, it's to take in info. You might want to try to do some mindless because, like, let's think about it. Whenever you're doing gambling stuff, you're taking information that could give you an edge in gambling. Whenever you're over there, you're taking in information to try and get the company good. Maybe it would be beneficial for you to do something completely mindless.
It could.
Minecraft is what you need. That's what you need, dude. And that'll put you in a state where you're relaxed.
I can't
It's hard,
rationalize it because it seems like I don't want to waste the time, right?
But it's not a waste if you're recharging your brain.
True.
If you're relaxing your brain.
I just don't notice, like I don't understand the
running,
benefits.
Yeah, it's running in the background.
Yeah. Of like doing that meditation.
You'd have to do it probably for a while in order to even reap any benefits.
Get the benefits.
Yeah. I'm not good at it either, dude. I'm
I think like should I do practice? Everybody smart people say like you should practice the meditation, like it'll help you mentally.
I do it at night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Every night.
I gotta, I should do that just like exercise, right?
It's hard though. It's hard like exercise though.
Yeah. But you have to do it, right?
It's hard.
Can you not do it and be fine?
You'll know when you're not doing it. Like your mind will wander, and then the person guiding the meditation will typically tell you. It's okay for your mind to wander, but you want to come back to focus on your breath. You want to be present. You want to be inside yourself, feeling everything.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, if I don't meditate and I don't take the time to do that,
yeah, you'll be fine.
I will be fine, but I could be better.
You could be better.
But how much better? Can I quantify it, or is it just a feeling?
Well, I mean, depends on if you can truly tap into it, right? There's really no way of knowing. And you can't limit it. You can't limit the benefits of it because you don't even know the threshold of what you'd be limiting. Could make you 100% better. I don't know.
You're right. There's no way of knowing until you do it. Right?
Yeah, you'd have to do it and see where you go. Now you're getting into some head space stuff, dude.
Well, if let's talk about losing weight and whatever. 100% I see the benefits and the way I feel.
Yeah, me too.
After losing 40,
just like
50
getting
pounds,
out of a car, right? Tying your shoe.
Just generally feeling better, right? Like I felt...
You move better.
When I was 50 pounds heavier, I felt like I was getting sick more.
Yes.
I felt I was more unhealthy.
You probably were.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, right? It's just science.
You've lost a total of 50. I think I'm coming up on 40 now. Like, we've lost a lot of weight, right? But
I was like 40 pounds. But
I don't know. At our heaviest, dude, I was a little chungus.
Yeah, well, I'm 185. I was 220 at my at the heaviest, so it's like around there. But anyway,
I said 178 was right. It was 182. I asked Andrew, it's 182, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's a round boy. That's a butterball boy.
So I wonder how much better I'd feel if I start doing the meditation and the.
It would be the hardest thing you've ever done, and I'm not saying that as a joke.
No, I know.
I think meditation for you, but I think if you could get it, knowing you the way you're disciplined, if you could get it, it would be, dude. It would be literally next level for you if you could do it.
Because I'm not into stuff that is just like.
I bet you could tap into emotion if you could do it. I bet the emotion is past that.
Yeah, I mean, there would be benefits, right?
100%.
Like emotional benefits, so like my brain may work better.
Dude, there's heart benefits, from it. Just
health. Yeah.
There's literally just the benefit of just not releasing a cortisol dump of stress hormone into yourself.
It's just hard. Like if everything's hard to exercise, hard to do anything. There's no excuse.
I think meditating's harder than exercise, though. I mean, we all know what it's like to get up and do something we don't like exercise-wise. I mean, even if you're completely overweight. I mean, look, I'm still trying to lose weight. I'll ride the Peloton today. Rode it yesterday. I'll ride it every day. But that, to me, is easier than sitting down and forcing myself to be mindful within my own brain. And be kind to myself. But think about it. Just by origin, it's hard to, even by design, have you sit there for 10 minutes. If I told you have to sit for 10 minutes still in that couch over there, you'd look at me like I'm an insane person. You don't have 10 minutes to spare. You don't have 10 minutes to give your head a quiet, just a moment to breathe and get a ton of oxygen in your body.
Hard to justify that, quantify that, how much it will help me, because I'm just like, but
it would.
Same thing I said about exercise and losing weight, where I was like, I don't got time for this. But when I did it, I saw the benefits, right? It's
right.
Like,
we also have proven that we both can do it, right? It's like when we set our minds to things, we can do it.
Yeah. No,
you could. I would love to see you get to a point where you could meditate.
I want to try it.
It's hard.
It seems like everybody says it will be beneficial, so why not try it? And you got to try it for a long period of time, and I'm sure it will.
I can give you a day pass to I have a thing. I'll give you a day pass to it. It'll give you like 6 months of free, and you just hit the button, and it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can't let anybody see me do it. That's the problem.
You do it in your own bed. Do it with headphones on. Nobody will see you. You don't move. You lay there, or you sit. You just sit. You sit with your feet.
Well, I have to do it somewhere. Like I can't do it at home.
You can do it right here.
I can't let you see it.
No, I won't be here. You'll do it before you leave. You shut the door. I don't need to see you. You just put your feet flat on the floor. You sit in a chair. You want to have good posture. You put your hands in your lap, and you play the guided meditation. You just sit there and breathe. That's all you do. You don't do anything.
I'll start jacking off. Sorry. Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. Let's do some voicemails.
Voicemails it is. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail message, super easy to do, 1-844-TOMNDAN. Call that number and lay a voicemail down. It's easy to do. You'll hear our voices. You'll know you're in the right spot. The second way you can do that is with our app. Totally free. All of our content's on there. You can even subscribe, get extra shows, and put a little money in our pocket. Just go wherever you get your apps and search for Tom and Dan or A Mediocre Time.
Yeah, you can get our merch through there.
Everything, really.
There's new merch on the website. All of our sponsors are on there. Every show we do is on there. You can subscribe to be a BDM and get the BDM shows. It's just password protected. So once you get your BDM email and password, once you log on to the app, then you could have access to all the BDM shows. And that goes back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Like all of our other shows only go back 100. And then, of course, we release OG shows or like shows 4 years ago on our BDM, area.
Yeah, so. On the BDM portion of the app, you get like an older show, but then we curate it. We come in ahead of time and tell you anything you might need to listen for, kind of relive it a little bit. It's kind of fun.
Well, here's the thing. We're like...
It's a way to sell it, Daniel. It's kind of fun.
A lot of people are on break right now, and if you're looking for extra content and you haven't subscribed to BDM...
we don't go on break? And this is not a brag. This is not... It's just why we never break. We're never broken. Always recording.
We're going to be off for 2 weeks.
But not really.
Well, yes.
Truly be off and to truly, like, you would need to stop and then just, like, tell everybody, look, the factory is shut down, just like the Hitachino Nest, the beer company in Japan. They closed the brewery when they were having the tsunamis, and they're like, we're only making water now. No more beer.
Yeah, but you can still buy beer because they produced it before.
No. They emptied the holding tanks. They were putting water in there.
We got a pretty good vacation schedule here at TD Media. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I need to see more.
Like 2 months off.
I need more time off.
More than 2 months?
Yeah, I need like a Europe. There's 6 months off, 6 months on, 6 months. Okay, here's the first voicemail.
So I was leaving Walmart and I had to poop already with my daughter. And I didn't want to cash out and then go take my daughter into the restroom at Walmart. So I was like, I'll just jet home. Anyways, packing up the car, and I see a guy running around asking people if they're voters, registered voters, sign something for child rights, black rights, women rights, all the rights. Everybody gets a right. And
what does this have to do with your poop, sir?
He asked me, and I simply told him I'm about to poop my pants, so I need to go home. And he quietly laughed, did a small little laugh, and said, Godspeed, sir. And as I was pulling away, we made eye contact again, and he smiled again. So, Tom, that's what you got to do. Just tell people you're about to poop your pants.
Voicemail of the year. Voicemail of the year. This man is a problem solver. Sir, thank you for your service. I appreciate your voicemail. I was judging you harshly just based on the tone of your voice. I was like, oh, this guy's a real dum-dum. But you're not. You're super smart, and you figured it out. That's what you need to do. Always poop your pants.
Well,
or tell people you're pooping them.
He didn't come up with it like that was actually happening, so he told...
Yeah, but you can, with just a little bit of a fib, with a small fib, you can get out of any scenario that is uncomfortable to you.
Yeah, but you have to gauge the person's personality that's asking you to sign whatever, or whatever the hell he's panhandling, or to see if he'd even laugh at that. Because I feel like
I don't think
think
the laughter is paramount in this example. I feel like once you've launched that bomb, once you've said, "I'm sorry, man, I'm about to poop my pants. I got to get out of here." It doesn't matter if they get the levity out of it. It doesn't matter if they laugh at all. You have put an instant barrier that cannot be breached. There's no way they're going to continue, good or bad, a conversation with a man or woman that needs to poop. It's just not going to happen.
Well, you could say, I'm in a hurry, and he's probably not going to go further.
No. But the hurry, you can say, because what do people say when you say I'm in a hurry?
Take a second.
That's it. You know, they say, but it's not that.
You're right.
It'll
perfect
they say it'll match your hurry. My question is also a hurry.
Yeah.
Your hurry will go, that's great that you're hurrying. My question's a hurry. And then it's never a hurry, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you, this we may have stumbled upon. But I just think the phrasing of I have to poop or I'm about to poop my pants is too awkward for you. I don't think you can utter the phrase. I don't think it's possible for you.
I can do it if I know it's going to make the guy or girl laugh. Because then it's for two reasons.
Well,
I can actually make their day better.
Let's quantify this. You're a quantified man. You love that. What is the percentage that somebody would laugh when you say? I think it's higher than 60%.
Yes.
I think it's higher than 60% that when somebody comes up to you with a clipboard and says, like, excuse me, sir, do you have a second? You go, I am so sorry. I'm about to poop my pants. 66% chance someone will laugh.
Maybe more. Because think about it.
You think more than 66%? I was trying to hit it on the nut.
It may be a damn near 95%, and I'll explain.
95?
Yeah, because the person that's doing that is like they are in front of every single person they walk up to is automatically on guard and doesn't want...
Well, especially now. Yeah, now more than ever.
Has anybody in the history of time said, hey, there's a guy walking around with a clipboard. I hope he comes up to me because I'm curious to see what he...
Well, that has happened, but that person left the show.
It's It's... nobody...
that's a rarity, but yeah.
Nobody wants to be bothered, right? So they're automatically going up to, almost nearly 100% of the people they go up to doesn't want them to go up to them, right?
Correct.
So, and then the other percentage, I would say the 60% of people say, no, thank you, I don't have time, right?
Well, that's me. I'm that guy. I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I don't have time.
And then
Doesn't even affect me.
30 more percent, you go through the whole rigmarole.
You're the only
spiel.
person I know that literally would change your day having to talk to this person. Like, it would make you so uncomfortable.
How many people sign? I've signed just to get them away from me. I don't even know what I'm signing.
I never sign because I never get that far. Never get that far.
I've signed petitions and stuff.
Oh, I know
from
you have.
stuff I don't even believe in.
Oh, I know.
Just so I could appease.
You're with the problem with the world.
Yeah, appease the situation and just be like, here's my signature.
Yeah, you just go with the flow, man. Doesn't even matter.
So with all that being said, I think if you to say I'm about to poop my pants, I gotta get out of here, that is even better than someone actually signing the signature, because when they sign the signature, it's not making you laugh. That's the only really exchange that you
so
could probably
saying
have.
there's a benefit here because it's tilted to a joke.
Well, yeah, it's a benefit.
It's definitely amusing.
The person that's doing this gets a laugh out of a day of probably zero laughter.
Well,
right?
you could use any real tragedy that's happening to you to get out of it, but pooping your pants is one of the only ones
That's funny.
that gives a little bit of laughter
Yeah,
to the person in question. Like, I could say, I'm going to visit my son who got a car accident. He's almost dead.
No, yeah.
Hospice
Then
has
it's
been.
then it's off with them.
Hospice has been called. I'm going. They would also let you go though.
True, but now like you're not only lying,
You're spinning a yarn at this point.
but then
Character development, a tale of.
you're bumming the person out. Like this is who's the
It's
loser
an energy
here?
exchange here.
Yeah, you're making them laugh.
I think we figured it out. This guy, sir, if you can email me, you deserve a prize. That is a wonderful. The whole I'm about to poop my pants thing, I think that works. If anybody else can find a reason it wouldn't work.
I remember SBK Kevin told me one time, he's like, if they're waiting outside the door for you to fire you, and you'll see them, just hold your butt, like the back of your butt, and then run towards the bathroom every single time. And
he said he'd never show up to be fired. He still says that, by the way. He's still.
And they can't fire you. It's a good enough.
A variation.
Yeah,
it's a variation of it.
Now, I don't think that's true. I think it'll eventually just say, you're fired as you run.
There's only one way this could backfire on you is if the person with the clipboard and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm about to poop my pants. And the person's like, I have a potty right here.
They're never going to say
But that's not going to happen.
Yeah. They could say this will just take a second and call your bluff again. But although
I'll wait by the door. I'll walk you to the restroom at Walmart by the McDonald's and I'll wait by the door till you come out.
Who are the people that volunteer for that garbage?
Nope, not wrong person. I'm running it live, Tom. Hello, thank you for calling. Who's this?
My name is Sandy Moody.
Hello, this is Signal Tech Helpline. How may I assist?
Well, this number showed up on a receipt for a Signal Tech Wi-Fi booster that I purchased.
Mm-hmm. I'm very familiar. My father invented the Signal Tech booster, and we're very proud of his work.
Okay. I thought it was a great idea, too, to give it to my husband, but it turns out he already has a Wi-Fi booster.
Oh!
So I need to know how I can return it.
Oh, God. Do you still have the box that it came in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The little bags, the plastic bags, and the zip ties that go around all the little cords and everything?
I have not opened the box at all.
Oh, great. You're in luck. Where did you purchase said Signal Tech Wi-Fi booster?
Well, on this website.
Oh, God. From the website? Yeah, you're going to have to get customer support. I'm just the son of the owner.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just a rich kid.
This is the only number they give for help with it. So
use the website. You try the website. The website's easier. And Dad's normally on the website.
This is the receipt that I got, so this is the only thing I'm going to know.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, but the phone call probably not going to get very far with the phone line. I guess Dad printed my cell phone number and all these signal texts, which is weird. But yeah, you could go ahead and just use the website. If you use the website, it'll be faster. Everything's gone to the web these days. It's all computers. Can you believe that? It's all computers.
Yeah, well, I don't know what website this is.
Signaltech.com.
At signaltechbooster.com.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
That's your email. It's not a website address, but
Oh, then I would shoot an email to Dad and just say, "Hey, I got a bad booster." Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck with
I
it.
didn't
Okay.
get a bad one. I just don't need it. It was.
I
a
understand.
Christmas surprise.
No problem here. Hey, happy holidays. Have a wonderful Christmas. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
You got it. I did the Lord's work there. I was trying to do for real. So in my scenario, I am the young, freewheeling son of Mr. Signal Tech.
I got
a white Lamborghini, and my dad put my cell phone number in all the packages as a goof. We're always goofing at each other, the Signal Tech brothers, our family. And he played, talk about a long con. He put my cell phone number on all the Signal Techs, and all these elderly people got the Signal Techs. They're calling me crazy. She was a lovely woman. I hope she gets her money back.
And your dad has built the Signal Tech empire, and he's got you. You're the son he loves. Then
I'm the baby. I'm the baby.
Then he's got a lawyer son, then he's got a daughter. She's a real slut.
A real pain in the ass. The daughter,
but she's loyal.
I'm always boiling. It's like
She's
righteous
loyal.
gemstones, but with Wi-Fi money.
And you've been to the military, and then you've come back, so you're not afraid to kill. And he needs someone like you around.
Well, I actually know a day's work,
ranch.
right? I know a day's work.
Yeah.
But I'm also an alcoholic.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that's not.
And I've been drinking a lot of the Signal Tech.
A
a lot of it.
Yeah.
I've been in a bunch of rehabs. This isn't true, by the way. This is just a scenario Tom and I are writing, because apparently our call-in line is one number off from Signal Tech, which is a Wi-Fi boosting company. So we talked to a lot of elderly people that need to return this device. I haven't talked to one elderly person who likes this device, so it's not boding well for Signal Tech.
We have gotten how many different voicemail
Hundreds?
from elder? And
100? I'd say 70, 75.
This is how dumb old people are.
Oh.
I'm telling you how I feel inside.
Okay, this is your true core.
They sit through the entire Tom and Dan message, which is
There's a lot of me yelling and music and fart noises.
It's like you've reached Tom and Dan. Yeah.
And it's. I made it that way too. It's by
so
design.
they know.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like, plus the number is 1-844 Tom, the letter N, Dan. Tom and Dan.
But even if they accidentally, because our number's one number off.
Well,
so
what I mean is it says that. It says, thank you for calling 1-844 Tom and Dan. Like, it says, the reason I'm saying that, I know they're not going to know that, but the reason I'm saying that is the voicemail message that I left is basically telling you, hey, you're here. Welcome to it. Just hold the line. We'll be with you in a minute. We're doing the show, yada, yada, It's like any radio station. Actually, it's nicer than any radio station you would call.
So this is a hot take, and if there's any old people listening to this, and the fact that we're broadcast on terrestrial radio means that there are, think about if your booster, your cell phone booster, or whatever the hell,
Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi booster. Oh my God, you need one.
Yeah,
you're the grandpa that can't run it.
And I'll be here one day, and I'll take my own advice. But so your Wi-Fi booster doesn't work. It's Signal Tech, and then you call the Signal Tech number, and
you get the owner's son.
No, the Tom and Dan voicemail message plays, which is long, and by the way,
it's like 28 seconds, 30 seconds.
I mean, give me an idea of what it sounds like.
I can't play it because there's choice language, but it's like and Dan Stone comes in and he's like, hey, if you want Tom and Dan merchandise, go to tomandan.com. They never order enough stuff. Yada yada. It's Tom and Dan. Thanks for calling the podcast. We'll be with you shortly. Like, it's got me.
You say podcast.
I say, please hold for Tom and Dan the podcast. Please hold the line. Like, it's me basically guiding you through the little things so you can get to us, and then
So if you are an old person that finds yourself listening to that and then disregarding all of that and still leaving your Signal Tech
I've never
voicemail,
been that confused.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never been that confused.
Then you are no longer useful to society.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
And you are wasting
I support that.
energy that other humans that are useful to society and contribute to society. We matter more than you do.
I support that because I've never been in a scenario where audio is coming into my brain where I'm like, where I just freeze and have to hold the line.
You need to stop eating.
Oh my God. You're not praying hard enough. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying that you no longer have it together enough to even
No, you're saying don't steal our resources. We need the food.
Yeah.
Don't use the internet.
Yeah, you are no longer useful to society
Now, can they
or
change?
your family.
Can you change?
I don't see
Can
how
you
you
become
can.
useful to society?
What?
How do you integrate back in?
Once you're that confused to still power through our
She
entire
didn't sound
voicemail-
really confused.
Well, no,
just for a
she's fine.
moment.
She's fine because we answer the phone. So that I'm talking about the people, the vast number of people
That
the
leave
old
a
people,
message.
that leave the actual message, still asking about Signal Tech, but got through our insanely long voicemail explaining exactly what number they called.
Right.
That means you are no longer useful to society because you're so dumb.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. That's as simple as that.
I think
There's
that's pretty
no-
fair. Put that in a text message. That's good.
And when I get there, I will take my own device and be like,
I think I said something back. Yep, that's me.
I will say I have to stop eating now because
I'm no
I'm
longer.
too dumb and I cannot contribute to society or anything. I can't be good for my family. I'm actually a burden to my family. I'm a burden to everybody.
It's gonna be hard to stop eating though if you're Chungus, right?
Well, I just got more time to live. That's the only
That's
benefit.
good.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
bigger and dumber, then you get to live longer because you got all. You're like, I'm still not eating because I'm not purposeful. But I got a long way. I'm gonna be here a while.
yeah. Let's see. We can do one more voicemail and
Okay.
yeah, we went longer than the 10, but that's fine.
Yeah. Oh God.
No, it's good.
Oh, we can split this in
There's-
half.
No, there's always a place to put it.
We could just call it the double 10.
No,
I'll
no,
cut it in
we're
half.
good, we're
Okay,
good.
here we go.
Hey guys, this is mostly for Dan, I guess. I was watching a Peloton commercial the other day, and it struck me that the commercial music is Big Fat Chungus. It was basically Big Chungus, and then it had some music, Big Chungus. That wasn't what they were saying, but that's what I was listening. That's what I was hearing in my head because of the way you guys sing it. I don't know if you guys based it off of that.
No, I looked at the commercial in question, and it's just like generic corporate music. But I could see where he would think that because, like, Andrew and I were talking about this last night. Like, we were listening to a lot of, like, chilled out. There's a specific type of, like, I don't know if you would even call it anti-house music, but it's like dance music. But in the 90s, you had down tempo. And bands like Portishead and Massive Attack, like bands like that would do like, it's kind of hip hop, it's kind of alternative, but it's like beats but it's not quite dance, you know. And a lot of that music, I've dubbed it ultimately commercial, because the only way like, you know, the song, you're not gonna like listen. It doesn't have any words. You're not gonna bump it in your car. But if you heard it, you'd be like, I know that song. It's like the R&B song, like those kind of songs. There's certain songs that are just, I dub them commercial. That's all they are. They're just commercial. Is it a great song? Yeah, it's a good song. Would you put it on your iPad and iPod and listen to it, or your iPhone? No, but it is a commercial song.
It's free play music, or maybe the
It's recognizable,
marketing.
but it's not recognizable because it's like spinning on radio. It's not recognizable because you're listening to it on Spotify. It's recognizable because it's been used in so many commercials. It's commercial music. There is a thing.
And they just license that for whatever.
I don't think that's what they intended to do,
Okay,
but
yeah.
it became that because the song is so slick, easily used. Maybe it's got a kind of a, like, you see it a lot with a lot of this style of down-tempo music because it's got that vibe of being cool. You know, it's like the streets in New York at nighttime. Boom, boom, bah, boom, boom. You'll hear it and you'll be like, I know what that is. Like Sneaker Pimps. Six Underground, or is that what 3-8? What, I forget the name of the song.
Yeah,
Take me down, 6 under. I think it's that. But if you listen to Sneaker Pimp's music, you'll know that song. It was a hit, but it's commercial music. Like it's been used in a lot of different stuff: video games, movies, Arby's, Apple.
Because you just got like the perfect cadence for something that could go in the background.
Anybody
or
can
whatever.
appreciate it,
Nah.
or it's good presentation music.
And you could find all that stuff. Like now there's huge websites that you pay subscriptions to be able to license whatever music they have to offer. Like there's
We do. We do. Like we
do that,
subscribe to a company that provides me with, and we use it for, namely if we were writing. Well, we used to do it more so when you and I were writing a lot of commercials. We would license a lot of that style of music. And there are like companies now where songwriters can put that type of music, let's say like instrumental beat, you can put that music out for anybody to buy, and that can be your new income.
And there's also that same concept for just clips of like things that people use for commercials, like old man picks daisies in a field, right? Like that kind of stuff.
That's where that weird smile guy came from that everybody loves. The old man that's like always like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this guy. Everybody knows that guy. Again, that's a great example of commercial music. It's the same thing. It's like, you know what it is. You don't know his name. But you know the guy.
Some grandpa is now famous for being in every meme that there is.
Yeah, that guy's super famous. And he's like from Norway or something. Like he's not American.
He's just some
or
dude.
He's like a Colombian grandpa or something. Like he's European or from somewhere other than the United States.
He just got paid $150 one day to do a shoot.
Put this red sweater on and hold this computer and look confused.
And then it's like, we're gonna license this to some site that everybody's gonna use.
Yeah. I looked him up one day. Everybody's like done a deep dive on where that guy came from and how he's famous and like how did
have you?
Yeah, and then people are like, how's the fame affected you? And
that's interesting because maybe that makes me a bad person because I'm never interested in who these people are.
Like
or what
the girl, the young black girl that's like she's looking like what like she's in the memes. Like I looked her up. Like what's she doing now? Like I look all those people up. Charlie bit my finger. All of them. I look them all up. You don't do that when you're pooping. What do you do when you're pooping?
I'm not even interested in what my friends and family are doing.
Man.
But it's just none of my business. Like again, I'm only interested in my business. Maybe that makes me a dick. I think it does. Anyway.
It just makes you more,
Bye-bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time. Let's do a voicemail.
All right, buddy. Let's try. Let's go with this one.
Hey, guys. It's Zach from Ohio. Charmin Ultra Strong for life.
Yeah, he brought this up, and then he called in again about toilet paper, and I wanted to update you guys that based on recommendations from our own show, Zach from Ohio, I changed my toilet paper to Charmin Ultra. I did, based on him, purely because of him.
Okay.
And he is correct. It is better paper.
I think I use that.
Yeah, it's good. I think you do use it.
That's the Bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's a solid paper.
I would say it's decent paper.
Yeah, I like it better than any of the other ones I've used. I know that my wife and I, right now though, the gold, to update you, I'm still trying to track down White Cloud. As a kid, White Cloud was the one that I loved.
Okay.
That was the one that I loved, and my dad, much like you, did not like the lotion or aloe on. He hated it because he said, it makes my hands sticky. He didn't like that it would get on your hands.
It leaves like a lotiony residue.
Yeah, my dad not known for his lotioning ways, not a lotiony guy.
Yeah.
Or have you known ever in your, like, I've been moisturizing my tattoos, but I don't really lotion my hands. I don't really moisturize. Do you moisturize at all?
No, never lotion myself.
Does your wife and or your sons, do they moisturize?
No, my sons are naturally soft.
Okay, naturally soft boys. That's fine.
Yeah.
My daughter does moisturize with my wife. They both moisturize themselves. They get the lotions.
And that's girls. Yeah. Yeah,
they talk about it. And it smells good though. I like it.
Also, it goes like in the same vein as chapstick or anything that you.
I don't like chapstick.
I think you become dependent on it. Like, there's one thing if you have naturally like dry or ashy skin and it's actually like a medical problem. But I think you can, if you get used to moisturizing too much, your body will stop naturally moisturizing your skin, which I imagine it does naturally.
Can you make your skin too soft to a point where if I just poked you much like a cake, I just go right through you?
Well, it's just like, shampooing your hair too much or all that, using too much soap, it will eventually have negative results, right?
What layer of our skin is holding our guts in?
Well, I mean, all the layers.
No, I'm just saying, is there something to be, like, can you soften your skin to a point where it becomes not able to hold your guts in?
No. It's always going to have a certain strength. Moisturizing it is just adding water to it, right? Or
oil or, some sort of...
Yeah. Making it hydrated as
People
opposed to
say
dry.
that you're supposed to, for healthy skin, like, you're supposed to moisturize it, right?
I think that's marketing. I mean, I think your body, unless you have a problem, like I said, you should be able to naturally produce all the moisture your body needs. Unless you're dehydrating yourself or actually, you know what I'm saying?
Like okay, let me ask you a question. Like when we wash our hair, like my hair and your hair I believe, are very similar in the fact that it has a distinct look once we've washed it with shampoo.
Yeah, you're washing the oils out.
But my point is, like, if you were a primitive person, would your hair ever get the oil out of it? So the way that our hair is now, it's not. Our hair is supposed to look like Derrick Henry's hair, like one big hair, like a grease hair.
That's a different type of hair too. Like,
well, I understand that, but I'm
yeah.
just saying, should my hair be flatter to my head and just kind of greasy?
I guess. Let's think about, like, it all goes back to the way we were primitive humans. Like, we didn't shower that much. We didn't have soaps. And then I guess, every once in a while we'd be in the rain or go through a stream or something and be rinsed off. But we wouldn't be taking any of the oils out of our hair naturally. So I imagine your body will produce enough oil to be, your hair should be good after that. Like, I don't think it does anything besides from keep it, manageable or not stinking or whatever by washing it. Like, I think it's, you probably read studies about, like, you should only wash your hair X
like
amount
every
of times.
3 days, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We try to adhere to that with Maisie, but yeah.
I mean, you talk to, like, some professional that's into hair and probably they'll tell you, or use something more natural, like, we just, humans in our society now probably do a lot of things that are not good for our body or natural just because of marketing and stuff.
Right.
Like, we used probably way too many soaps, chapstick and like eye drops, and we're just adding all this stuff. And then it makes sense, just like everything, you start shooting yourself up with testosterone, your body will stop making it. Like, that's proven fact. And like, so whatever you're adding to your body that your body naturally does, your body will stop making or doing that thing, which inherently is bad for you. Or now you're just substituting it with something else, like spending money that you don't need to. Your body will naturally,
bad for you, but it's just a thing.
Yeah, like, well, why, like, use chapstick if your body will naturally, keep your lips moisturized?
I hate chapped lips, but I hate. Okay, this is gonna sound like I'm an insane person. I hate having cracked lips, or especially if they bleed or they hurt, It's terrible, and I think most people can agree with that. But I don't like the feeling of chapstick on my lips. I can feel it. I don't like the feeling of it. It makes me feel, I don't know, it feels weird. It feels like my lips
something on your lips.
Yeah, I don't like something on my lips. Leave my lips alone.
You got to get used to that, I think. Like, a lot of women are used to
lipstick
or to something chapstick or whatever the hell, lotions on your lips. Or
Burt's Bees.
Yeah, I'm sure you get used
Put
to it.
Put some Burt's Bees on it.
And again, maybe like my wife, her lips are weak or whatever the reason. Her lips
weak lips, boy.
Make more, like, they get chapped and she can't handle it, so she has to use chapstick all the time. And she's just like, well, screw it. This is the way it is.
If she stopped using it, what would happen?
Her lips would be real bad chapped.
Would they?
But
they get chapped easy?
But I think after, like, a while, I don't know how long, but your body will start adapting
regulate
to it
itself.
And regulate, because, like, when we go out to the cold or go out skiing, I don't ever wear chapstick, and my wife has to, or her lips will be ruined. Like, they'll be cracked in the corners.
That's called the Joker.
It'll be miserable for her to live if she doesn't use chapstick, and so she's like,
God, the corners of your mouth, that's a bad design. Round that off a little bit.
Doesn't happen to me at all. Like, they never get chapped.
Interesting.
So it probably has something to do with me never using chapstick and my body chemistry. And then my wife always using chapstick and
she
her
like
body.
Normal or cherry?
I don't know. I never pay attention to anything.
One more. This is the last one.
What's going on, T&D Media? Concrete Mike here.
Yeah.
Heading home from a side job, poured a 10-yard pool deck in DeVito for this guy. And on my way home, I got two stupid thoughts in my head. Sitting at a red light. Car in front of me has a rear window defogger. The lines that go through the back window. Pretty much all cars have them. It occurred to me, I've never had a truck that has a rear window defogger. Why is that? Why only on cars and not trucks? I don't know.
Because the window's straight down. It doesn't get condensation on it because the water and the air that it gets heavy and lands is only going to land on a surface that's facing the sky, and truck windows are flat.
Oh, yeah.
They're parallel. That's why. Did I answer it?
It makes sense.
I think I might have got it.
Because
I'm trying to win. I want to win.
Because when Mike asked that question, I was like, yeah, you're right. I don't have one in the back of my truck. But Daniel's right. The angle, cars, the condensation falls, and then the snow will pile up and stuff is not going to happen on a flat.
Now, Mongo in the chat room saying, because in a truck, the rear window is close enough for the front defroster to work. No, that's wrong. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. He means the one that actually heats. He doesn't mean the one that blows, Mongo. He means the one that's the heating element on the glass.
Yeah. The lines that run through.
Yeah.
And that's to keep the snow off. Although you think that those are going to be a thing of the past because now everybody uses backup cameras.
I didn't think about that.
Like no one's looking through the back of their
You still
window.
might want it though.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like it's not as important. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because nowadays I back up exclusively using my backup camera. Like I don't even turn around anymore. I
drive with my backup camera. Like I look and I can kind of tell.
I may do a quick check to see if anybody's walking because I did almost hit an old lady one time. But then once I start backing
Mongo's
up,
dying on this hill. He says it's definitely but if you have in Tom's truck,
I got a crew cab.
He's got a crew cab. You're wrong. In Tom's truck, his cab from front window to back window is longer than my SUV.
I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, SUV is probably longer, but some cars, I bet it's the same distance.
It's certainly longer than my GTI was.
Daniel's theory it makes more sense because the back window of a car is angled and therefore will collect snow
or water. You're not even going to get rained on. If that thing's straight down, I mean, you'll see the rain, but very rarely does it get wet.
Yeah.
I think that's why they even get a slide window. You're more likely to put a slide window in there because you're less likely to get flooded, right? Even if you leave it open.
Hold on. Now, because
now they're fighting. This could be the next big thing on the show where we fight about this. I love it.
Because you know what? Like when I'm out in the snow, frost will collect on my driver's side window and the passenger side window too, and those are upright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not as much as the windshield though that's slanted because of the way it's slanted and the way So I don't know. But it's got to be because it's vertical. And maybe a little bit of Mongo's theory that it's closer to.
It's not that much closer, though.
A
I mean, it would take forever. If you're sitting in the front, you put on your defrosters, right? It's going to take forever to blow all the way to the back and make that thing unfog itself. Are you crazy?
Yeah, you're right. Because think about when you defrost your windows with the heat.
It's rapid air.
It has to blast the heat from basically your dashboard up, and it has to be close for it to even work. There's no way, because if that was the case, then just turning on your heat in your car would be enough to defrost your windshield, which is not.
It's not.
You need a specific blower to defrost, because you change it to defrost, and then it comes out the front next to the windshield.
Now you got it. You're talking it through.
Although it's weird that they didn't I guess it's cheaper to do those little coil wires than it is to run a defroster air back there.
It's more complicated. The coils are easy. That's just that's a
heating element,
tiny little current, right?
Although it makes your back windshield more expensive, right? Like, because now you have to get...
If it breaks.
Yeah, if it breaks, yeah. But I guess less likely to break because who's breaking their back windshield? Mainly your front.
I don't know. Only me, and I drive backwards on I-4. Like, it's hard. It's very hard to do.
Oh, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Canadian Josh on the line. What's going on, Josh?
Hello, friends. Happy holidays to you.
Do I give him a bit of his thing?
Yeah. We still got the
Canada, home of George St. Pierre. Tom's Pop called it Gay Mexico.
There we go. All right.
I thought we bailed on the Gay Mexico thing. We're still going with that.
No.
It's back.
Yeah, it's still Gay Mexico in my heart.
The sleeves are coming off, aren't they, Tom?
Yeah. Never put
That's
them
what
back
they
on.
want.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Never put him back on. How's it going, man? How are things in Canada?
It's going good. It's very Christmas-like now. There's snow on the ground. And that was going to be my first thing I was going to talk to you guys about was Christmas gifts for the family. So I wanted to do, and you guys as dads can both relate, I wanted to do the hero dad gift. Like, because I'm like you, Tom, I don't want to buy any more stuff. We've got enough stuff. It's just, like you said, most of it's just junk that's going to end up in a landfill. So I wanted to do something different this year. And it's an idea you guys have toyed around with, Tom. I went with The puppy.
Oh, why'd you do it?
We were just talking
Little
about this with your
cheese.
wife.
Ladies and gentlemen, Little Cheese is here with me.
Oh my God, it's so cute. Little Cheese is cute, and the puppy's even cuter. Oh my
And
God.
he's got his Tom and Dan shirt on. What shirt you got on, Andrew? You're rocking
the beer
Golden
shirt.
Ale.
That's appropriate.
Man, I like her. Little Cheese's hair is looking good.
Little Cheese, get at her.
Doing good, Little Cheese.
How old is Little Cheese now? I mean, he's a man.
He's a man. He's got muscles and a dog now.
Yeah. You're lucky.
That's why he's not doing much podcasting anymore, because he's into hockey and he's busy with school and he's playing a higher level.
You're lucky you're in Canada. He'll never have to fight in a war, so that's good.
That is good. He's too beautiful to fight in
Canada's
a
never
war.
fought in any world wars in history.
I'm just telling you what my pop-up told me. So,
I know, gay Mexico.
My dad said they didn't even have an army.
yeah. They ride horses.
Yeah, my dad said it was just a bunch of buildings filled with furniture. I don't know what that even means.
You have to wait 7 hours to get your teeth cleaned.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I just wanted to introduce everybody to Hank. I went with the puppy for Christmas. Tom, you've thought about it. Hero dad gift.
Hank is cute. Hank is really cute.
So Josh,
yeah.
Now you gave yourself a burden to you and your entire family.
Well, we
and
both
Little
gave
Cheese.
ourselves burden. We had children. We were giving ourselves the ultimate burden.
But children may actually give you money one day.
No,
in
you think Maisie gonna give me money?
I mean, there's rare circumstances.
She doesn't even want to spend time with me now.
Where you're like, I mean, look at me. Like my mom had me, and I bought her a car like 3 years ago.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I mean,
we didn't talk about it. You didn't post on Instagram, so it didn't happen. If you didn't pose in front of it with a bow on it.
No.
If you didn't do Mama, We Made It or any of that, it didn't happen.
It was used. I got it through a hook.
Oh my God, you got it through a hook.
Chapman.
Oh, you bought a car from Chapman?
He's like, it was like.
God, buy here, pay here. Chapman's reliable used car.
It like fell off a truck. It was like they needed to get rid of it for tax reasons. I got a good deal.
A stolen Corolla.
Anyway, so I'm like, that was a benefit to my mom for having kids. Like, no dog is gonna ever buy her a car. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. There could potentially be a payoff. Like Little Cheese, like he obviously loves the dogs. You know, he makes it to the Tampa Bay Lightning someday in the NHL. You know, and he's a millionaire hockey player.
Okay,
it could pay off.
I mean, the odds of that, but still, I mean, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, he's probably going to work in a tire factory building tires.
But still, there's a chance.
I would probably,
Josh, all you bought in that dog is a burden that's gonna. You can't go on vacations without getting someone to watch. That
they
dog.
take it with him.
Yeah, well, then
they're on lockdown. They can't go anywhere anyway.
Well, then you're still.
Yeah, they're back on a new lockdown.
It's 2022.
You got that like as the SBK calls it, what Amarion. You got that Amarion lockdown.
Yeah, but what about the positives, Tom? Like, I noticed when it comes to the pet topic, you're always gravitating towards the negative. Is that like my sensing some cognitive dissonance there? Like you are having this internal struggle,
I can't even quantify the positives because it's all love and nonsense.
I caught something, Josh. You're not going to believe this, but I caught something. Was it Friday? It was Friday. I caught something Friday that I dare I say I never thought would happen. Where Tom's negativity towards a puppy has rubbed off and is now taken and has hold of his own wife. She looked at me and said, we weigh it, and I don't think the boys need one right now. We're way better off without it. And that's the animal lover. That's the lady that I never thought would say that. I mean, she is 100% anti-dog. He's 100% anti-dog. No dogs in that household, and I think it's a proper play.
Let me read you a text that
what did she change in 3 days? 2 days? 2 days? Friday, she was on your team.
Yesterday at 10:24 a.m. while I was doing the show, she texted me, I want a dog.
Well, wait a minute. Yes. She said on Friday she was with you.
Well, she's crazy, Daniel.
Okay, fair enough. I changed my mind a lot.
Insane.
I can understand.
I'm like, I don't know how else to explain it. Yeah. How else do you want me to explain it?
Well, she told me Friday that she weighed it.
Well, she says, the flip-flops is one thing she's driving the U-boat in Vietnam, and the next thing is, you know what I'm talking about.
That was a great veto. It's too late for the awards, but man, that one was almost.
Who was a flip-flop?
That was some true frustration right there.
Good veto.
Did you hear that, Josh? That was like real frustration. That wasn't even a real veto. That was so real, and like it started to fall apart. They lost the humor there.
What was the flip-flop guy from back in the day, the politician? They're like, he's a flip-flopper. That was like a big deal.
Dukakis, right? Wasn't it Dukakis?
No, wasn't it Gore? I don't know.
Al Gore could have been Al Gore.
It was someone. Anyway,
they're all flip-floppers. They're politicians.
Back in like 2012, like that was a huge deal.
Except for Charlie Crist. He just said he would definitely make marijuana legal in Florida if he's the next governor.
Again, it's
vote for the tan man.
This person said a different thing 10 years ago. Now he's saying it. And like, that was a huge deal. Now it is.
Yeah, I said I'd never have kids 10 years ago.
Yeah, but it's like now it doesn't matter what. Like, he's the craziest person anymore.
So you're getting a dog. Well, congratulations. What kind are you getting?
I'm thinking the hero effect, dude. Like, you'd love to be the hero, everything. Walking in with that dog, Crystal, the boys. Come on.
Yeah, but it wears off, Josh.
No, but you gotta go.
You gotta negative. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta go and feel it because he is right. The feeling of looking at both of those boys and you're handing them over that puppy and your wife and they're all happy. I mean, there is I'd say a solid 5 minutes. You're the king of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then after a while, the newness and the excitement of the dog wears off, and then you're screaming.
5 minutes after 5 minutes,
you're screaming a little cheese. The dog pooped and pee-peed all over the carpet.
Peeps everywhere.
You didn't let it out, and then they're screaming. And
it's not like a formed poop that you can just pick up with a pair of like barbecue tongs. It's like
soft.
puppy diarrhea.
I mean, this happens the same way every time. It's like me with the boat and all this stuff. Like I'm telling you what will happen, and then people still continue to do it. Like because I don't know why, it's mental illness. Because the dog will pee everywhere. It'll be
Caesar pooped 5 times in the house yesterday. 5.
It'll be a bigger pain.
5 times.
Like, and then for what? Like, at the end of the day, every once in a while, I mean, you're gone most of the time, Josh. Like, you're in the Canadian tundra saving lives at the oil pipeline.
Little Cheese and Hank, he's going to be picking up after Hank.
And then
Little Cheese is on top of it. He's got it.
And then
he's old enough now.
You know, my wife brings up the fact of like being around animals is important. I'm like, is it? Is it?
Wait a minute. Whoever said that? I never heard that.
Have you ever heard of any CEO giving a job interview?
The key to me being a cutthroat, awesome businessman is I surround myself with dogs.
Yeah. The only people that surround themselves by animals are mentally ill.
They are. You're right. They are.
And the more it's like,
and they're usually not. They're usually unfortunate looking, right?
Yeah.
If you boil it way down, the people that only have dogs and cats are weirdos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, how good could it be? And yeah, like you're a hero, but also, are you a hero? Because your wife and your sons know that
you're a hero. Go back to what I said. You're a hero for 5 minutes. The rest of the time, you're a villain. Tracy from our Twitch chat room. She says, my new puppy ruined my wood floors, had to spend $12,000 to replace the floors. My God, Tracy.
Is that worth it? Is it worth it?
She just got that dog. That dog's like 6 months old, Tracy.
Like, okay.
In 6 months' time, your floors are ruined at $12,000. Good God, man.
Wow. So, you know the guys that, like, leave their families for, like, a young bride or a new
I am
girl,
that guy. I just haven't left yet.
Yeah, so you're saying...
Contemplating.
You're like, man, like, you did something horrible. You left your family and, like...
But think of how awesome it is.
But then, when you're banging the new, younger girl, right... At least that in that
5
moment,
minutes.
that 5 minutes, you're like, man,
hero.
This is better than anything that before, right? This is pretty awesome. Now there's
I'm not surrounded by cats and dogs.
But there's none of that with the dog ownership. Like what? Like every once in a while, the dog comes up and like snuggles next to you on the couch. Like I can understand. Like I'm not a total.
So if you could bang
robot.
the dog, you'd be in. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I'm just saying. What else does the dog give you? Like it takes everything. It just takes.
It's selfish. A selfish dog.
It's excited to see you when you get home. Well, it's excited to see anybody when they get home. Like it's not you personally. It's just whatever that's going to feed them or give them treats. It's reacting. It's an animal.
It's a wind chime.
Yeah. So then
it's literally a wind chime.
So then you pet it, and it releases some dopamine or whatever. Like you could drink some beer, smoke some weed.
You know, everybody talks about releasing dopamine. Yeah. Just give me a jar of dopamine that I can release myself. That's what I want. Give me straight dopamine.
Yeah.
Where do I get that?
I yelled about that for years. I was like, just give me the straight dopamine.
Yeah, I want the straight. And then when I
it's called cocaine.
No, that's different.
That turns into dopamine. I want the straight.
Yeah.
I want the real dopamine.
Yeah, you cut out the middleman of the drugs and just give me the dopamine.
Give me the dopamine right into my. Give me a syringe that hangs off the side of my head where I can just pump it a little bit, give it a little kick.
Yeah, and also speaking of being the hero, because I often want to be the hero to my family.
You know what's funny is that here's a fun fact: you and I have never been the hero in anything.
My son, it's short-lived. That's the problem. Like, it's not like it.
No, I'm speaking for myself. I've never been the hero. My daughter already knows she can beat me up. That's fine. I don't care.
Like, it never lasts for long periods of time. Like, that would make, okay, you bought this dog. It's a pug, so it won't live that long. But
Jesus.
I'm just saying the truth.
Harsh, my God.
I'm just telling
you are Josh, are you talking to your children? Straight up dad mode. Dad mode.
I'm just saying exactly the truth.
God, you lost me on that one. That one hurt a little bit. Everything else, I was like kind of wandering with you, and I'm going to hell with you, and then you say that, I'm like, oh, that hurt a little bit.
It's inbred so much. It's going to get cancer. It can't breathe. You know, it's all the things.
I mean, it is irresponsible to buy one of those horribly genetically engineered little animals,
but you're gonna have to take care of this animal for 9.5 years, and
no, it's a little dog. Go longer than that.
Yeah, they go 15. I think.
That's a 15 all day long.
Pug?
That's 15 all day long.
Nah, pugs.
No,
short.
because they're kept. They get carried around a lot.
Yeah, but they snore. They got sleep apnea.
You can get them CPAPs now.
Yeah, I got to get them a CPAP.
Oh, okay.
They make little dog CPAPs. They're loud as hell, though, man.
So remind me, I'll be dead by. When you're getting your,
it's hard to keep the mask on them too. You have to. They don't like it.
Yeah,
and
they'll crazy.
They'll bite through the first two of the pig masks that you put on. By the way, if you wear one of those when oh my God, you just look in the mirror before you go to bed. It makes some different choices. My God.
So all I'm saying, Josh, is like, your family's happy now, but I mean, are they gonna do everything for it? Like, is your wife gonna give you a Heroes BJ every time you come back from the pipeline? Like, that'll be one.
Oh no, because she's too busy cleaning up dog food. She won't have time.
You get one Heroes BJ. Your sons may listen to you today, tomorrow. After that, they'll be disinterested. They'll also be disinterested in the pug after 2 weeks, and it'll just.
How long have you had it so far?
Just a week, and I feel real good about it after this conversation.
Yeah, that's what we do.
About my choice to get a puppy.
Yeah, this is what we do.
No one has been able to explain to me logically, and that's all I want. Now you can go same thing with dividing rods. If you just want to say magic right from the start, then I'll stop arguing with you. But if you want to bring some logic into it, then we'll have a discussion. And I haven't heard any logical reason to buy a dog from anybody.
Well, you say that. You say that, but I can get some love out of the dog. Where I really have a disconnect is if Josh had Little Cheese walk over with a cat.
Okay, but yeah, that's worse. that is worse.
To me, that is worse. Now, the weird part of that is you will do less work.
That is the trade-off. Yeah. The cat's
but the cat is
independent.
I don't understand the cat thing. I'm not at all anti-cat. I'm not a cat person. Can't wrap my brain around the cat thing. It's like, here, I brought something into my house that hates me, and here it is, and it just lives here with me, but it hates me.
A cat is like a living, stinky plant.
All right.
It takes care of it. You just have to give it water every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, make sure it gets sun. Well, I guess cleaning out the litter box is worse than a plant. But then again, you could shine a laser pointer on the wall and it'll go crazy. That's
fun. That's fun. I wish a plant would do that. God, I'd love my plant.
I'd be scared. That'd be scary.
Yeah.
That would be scary.
Yeah, I've never sat down on a couch and had somebody's plant run up to me and start whacking my thighs. Cats will do that, and that makes me mad. If you have a cat and I come to your house and I sit on your couch and your first thing your cat does is run over to me and start whacking my thighs, I'm allowed to hit your cat, right?
And also,
I feel like I should be allowed to hit the cat.
Cats get AIDS. That's what
yes, cats get AIDS.
Look, you got
but
AIDS.
That means cats F. They get at it. Dogs don't F. Not like cats. Cats, they got AIDS. Yeah. They F so much they got AIDS.
Oh, Tom, speaking of effing and animals, what about this angle I just thought of? It just popped in my head. I could possibly breed him. And I think what the deal is if you
I'll take one.
You either get to keep a puppy or you get the price of a puppy. So
I'll take a celebrity. So I'll take a Canadian Josh. I'll take a Canadian Josh Kennel dog. Sure. Put me down for one.
Yeah, I mean, you can breed it and make money. Seems like a gigantic pain in the ass. to do that.
I want a puppy so bad. I would take one right now.
Also, then you're going to get some sort of judgment by the internet.
You have to
and
turn
your friends
on.
and family.
You can't look at that.
Like you're breeding animals.
You got to just keep looking at the money.
What do you own a junkyard?
You're not supposed to do that?
I don't. Not in America. In the.
I mean, you can do it, but you can't look at social media. You just got to do it and just act as if you're just doing something noble.
Yeah. Canadians are a weird breed because in one way it seems like they may be more like liberal and progressive, but also more real man just because of the space you have. So I can't. I don't know what it is.
Right.
I'm just.
You guys are super liberal, but also really good with axes. All of you. All women, all children, everyone good with an axe.
Yeah.
Weird.
You don't like guns, but you love freedom.
Yeah. But you're big on knives. They love knives.
Yeah.
Canada, knife crazy in Canada.
Yeah.
All the
And
knives.
fighting in hockey is like it's.
Yeah, you guys love fighting, but you don't like fighting with like weapons. You like fighting with your fists, which is noble. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got, Josh?
Well, I wanted to talk about one of my greatest accomplishments ever, just a little bit above having my kids. That was getting the Nerd Jock segment canceled. And
Could you do it
are we done
again?
with that? Where do you guys want to go with that from here? Keep that going?
I'd
Put it
like
on the
to
shelf? What do you
continue
think?
the boycott. I'd like to shut her down.
Okay, so you can go to GoFundMe, and on GoFundMe, look up Cancel Nerd Jock, and I just raised the ceiling. The initial ceiling was $100, so I just put it back up to $200, and that's how it'll pay out, right, once it hits. So, if people on Twitch, everybody throws in $10,
That's a full month off of Nerd Jock. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, do you guys sense some cognitive dissonance as well with EJ in this? Like he's playing like he's really happy that this is canceled. Oh, I paid for my license plate.
No, it hurts him.
There's cognitive dissonance going on there. It's hurting somewhere.
It hurts
right?
him.
It has to be.
Yeah, it hurts him. He loves the bit, but he loves it so much that he doesn't work as hard as he needs to with it, I feel like.
Yeah. And it's like a nerd trying to take the power away from the bully. Be like, I like my underwear pulled up my butt. It's like, no, you don't, nerd. Nobody does. And I know you don't.
I meant to do that. It's a little bit of that. It's a little I meant to do it. It's like,
there's no
okay,
way you like that.
No.
And there's no way you like what's happening.
You're
to
being
you.
humiliated.
Yeah.
It's like the entire world is laughing at you.
Yeah.
Like, you can't enjoy that.
You're just saying words to try to lessen the blow, but we all know. It's,
we can see it. We can read it on you.
And also, it's the holidays, so I wanted to just since this is my last bit before before Christmas, talk about some Canadian Christmas traditions that you guys don't recognize or celebrate. I did lots of research on it. Turns out there's not a lot. We pretty much just copy what you guys do when it comes to Canadian Christmas traditions. One though I want to talk about was from the province I'm in Nova Scotia. Every year, this is our weird tradition. We've done it since 1917. We find our biggest, best Douglas fir Christmas tree, and we send it to the city of Boston. It's kind of like a U.S.-Canada, good relations between Nova Scotia and Boston. And that actually goes back to back when we had this major disaster in Nova Scotia back in 1917. These two ships collided in the harbor, like literally leveled the city. And we had a lot of help from the city of Boston in terms of just logistics and rescue efforts and food and that.
That's
so
cool.
we had this relationship with Boston. Yeah, so we send a Christmas tree to Boston every year, which is kind of cool. Or
now,
it makes me mad, Josh.
If you thought you liked Tom's puppy hot take, wait till you hear his Boston Christmas tree hot take.
Because
how stupid is it?
This is just wait for it. It's a tradition that has no weight anymore, and I'll explain. Like back in the Great Massacre of whatever the hell you described, back when resources were scarce and we didn't have the internet, and there's it was hard to get some quality Christmas tree or whatever the hell the reason Nova Scotia started sending a Christmas tree to Boston.
Yeah.
Like they appreciated it back then because it was actually like a good deed. But then through politics and just tradition, it just kept on happening to a point where nowadays I feel like the gesture is meaningless to everybody involved, Nova Scotia and Boston, and nobody actually cares anymore. For instance, like I bet you ask anybody in Boston if they'd go and fight for Nova Scotia or donate their time to volunteer in Nova Scotia because they were nice enough to send us a Christmas tree. Nobody would do it. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't. A good deed is supposed to have some sort of equity.
I can feel everybody that calls into our show distancing themselves. I can feel it now.
But you know what I'm saying?
I felt it a little with EJ. I can feel it now with Josh, who's laughing. He's like, I'm not going to be doing this much longer because Tom hates everything.
Do you think that anybody in New York gives a damn that the Statue of Liberty was donated by France anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody in New York actually...
There's one old lady.
that matters to them?
Yeah,
They're like, I owe France a favor because they gave us this big ass
ooh la la.
Yeah. Like, so, like...
Magnifique.
I mean, is anybody in Boston... Like, do you get any political favors from Boston politicians? Like, is there any...
It's just because in order for people to know the story, right, you'd have to continue the tradition. So there will be people that understand the story. But yes, I think what you're saying is the weight is not there, but the tradition is still kind of cool. So you're saying since the weight's not there, then in the tradition because it's meaningless? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying, why do you continue to spend time and resources to do it? If there's no equity to the actual favor anymore, and now it's just a tradition.
Well, I would imagine it would be done now in remembrance of the people that may have lost their lives during that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead
it's
of
kind of like it's a feel good story.
Yeah, it's not it's. I don't think it's done as like we don't have any Christmas trees in Boston. Good thing they give us one. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more of in remembrance of the people this day and us corroborating the fact that we were cooperative and there's something to be said about like a tip of the hat to cooperation between areas that do not normally cooperate.
Well, who's paying for it? If it's in Nova Scotia to pay to ship this big ass tree down to Boston,
like that's like a really old man now. Yeah,
I was just saying it's a lot of money and time and money spent that maybe we could go to something else.
It's not your tax. I don't think it's your tax money, Grandpa. I feel confident.
Well,
you're okay, Tom.
Hold on, someone's paying for it. Who's paying for it?
I would imagine Nova Scotia would pay for it.
We are,
right?
we're paying for it.
What do we care if Canada spends their money? I don't care. Send us all the trees, Canada.
Just give the money to cancer research or something. Like, I don't know if
this is their cancer research. Sending trees places.
Anyway, that was a stretch to try to hate on it. So I'm just trying to improv hate.
Yeah, I like it. He's the best improvisational hater.
I think that's what the
I don't really hate it.
You should see his ugly black pool noodles. They're horrible.
By the way,
jet black pool noodles.
The
hate improv.
My go-to for hate improv has caused a lot of problems with my relationship. And so just if you're thinking about hating me for my hate improv, just know that I have suffered dearly.
How about this one, Tom? See if you can hate on this. How about another Canadian tradition, and not just Canadian, but British as well, is, if you're even aware of it, the tradition of Boxing Day.
Yeah. Well, for me, I know Boxing Day is when all the good soccer matches are on, right?
Yeah, it goes way back to the like Victorian era, and it's basically the rich people would box up all of their gifts and stuff, or all their old stuff that they were going to use anymore, and then it was given out to the poor people. And on December 26th, the servants in these Victorian era households and royalty and stuff like that would get to take the gifts back. So it's kind of like, here you go, poor people, you can have our leftover junk now because we get new stuff at Christmas time. That's pretty much what Boxing Day is.
That's way better than Christmas. I want to give a bunch of broken stuff to poor people. That's great. I'll get, hey, look, I got a broken computer in there. That one computer I bricked this morning, I'll give that to a poor person. Here, take this. It's a bunch of crap.
What do the rich people get? That's what I care about.
Yeah, what do the rich people get? For those of us that are rich, what do we get? You didn't do your research like EJ. My God, nobody's done their research.
Also, isn't it okay by calling it Boxing Day? And every time I hear it, because I'm stupid, I think of actual boxing.
Well, you're American. We fight. We're fighters over here.
Yeah. And then, so then I understand. Okay, the gifts come in boxes, and that's why you're doing it.
Well, now it would be Bag Day.
But can't you just call it like Gift Giving Day, and then can't you just call it Christmas?
Hook up the
poros. Just call it Christmas.
Hook up the poros. I like that.
Yeah, hook up the poros.
Yeah, because nobody actually
gifts for Loser Day.
I mean, we do this in the like for charity, right? And so, but is this a bigger nationwide thing where people like the more amount of people actually do donate their stuff than Americans do?
Do people still do that, Josh?
No, nothing happens. It's just called Boxing Day. Nothing's actually boxed or given to poor people. That was just the origin of it, was, rich people in the Victorian era hooking up their servants and stuff. But no, it's just another holiday. It's day after Christmas is always Boxing Day. I've literally never once boxed something up on Boxing Day to give to somebody less fortunate.
Shigardi says something that's kind of interesting. So it would be like you get new stuff this year, and then Boxing Day, you would take stuff that you didn't use last year that maybe was gifted to you that's still in good condition, and then give that away. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean,
That serves its purpose. Yeah, I can see that.
we do that when we clean out our garage and then drive to the Goodwill and awkwardly stand there while you load garbage into carts and while the person judges you for bringing you all the garbage.
And like, there's a lot of good magazines here.
And
a lot of good Playboys here. Hey,
you were just too lazy to drive to the dump, and now you're unloading your garbage.
I
to
give them
Goodwill.
prices so they don't like say anything. I act like I'm in the business. So I'm throwing out some piece of trash chair. I'm like, that's a good chair. $5 all day long. I say that. I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh, that's a dented trash can. That's $3 all day long.
What else?
Yeah, I just go right to the landfill, and actually that was one of the great things about COVID, because we would always have it's not a landfill, it's a transfer station, right, where they got all the bins out, and that's where I like to just get rid of everything. But they always had like a monitor person, but since COVID, they don't have the monitor person anywhere there, so I can just dump with impunity, and that's what I do with all my Boxing Day stuff.
Yeah.
Just goes
I
into
do
the
it
landfill.
like a like an old Walmart trash can where even if it's spilling out, I just set it next to it, and I drive away fast. I just lean it against there. I'm like, somebody will get it. Not mine anymore. Not mine. Not mine.
Yeah. If you find yourself, and I've done it, so I'm not judging you. I've done it
You're
too.
judging. I feel like you're judging me.
And when you go to McDonald's and then,
Yes,
and you get your
Set it on the
garbage,
way.
and then you're like, I gotta throw away my old McDonald's garbage because
Do you put it in the bag or do you one by one?
No. Then you see that there is the garbage can.
It's the garbage can with the tip.
Yeah, that has
The
a
tip can. I love the tip can.
So you can put it in there through your car,
Yeah.
right? But it's so full.
The tip can gets full.
That not only it like the flap is
For
stuck
some
open.
people, that's the only part of outside they'll get all day is literally putting the trash in that can. That's their only time their hands are in the sun.
And then not only
Seriously.
is it stuff full the entrance, but also like the people have put stuff on top.
On the top of it, like it's a shrine for Jim Morrison in France. They put like a old. There's a cross
whiskey
on
bottle.
there. There's a whiskey bottle. There's like some playing cards.
Yeah.
There's a tarot cards there. There's a candle burning.
And then you look at it and you're like, I'm still gonna put.
I do it
I'm
too.
still gonna
I do it. I go, this is for you, Jim Morrison. And I put my cup right at the top.
And then you put your garbage as if you're laying a Jenga piece,
Yeah.
so it doesn't tip over.
Drive away fast.
And then you drive away and pretend like it never
I
happened.
never look back. Never look back. Run the jewels.
A horrible person.
Never look back.
What else we got, Josh?
Well, there's lots going on up here. Kind of some sad news. The relationship that Canadians have with their beloved coffee and donut franchise, Tim Hortons.
Tim Horton.
It is going downhill. Canadians are starting to turn on Tim Hortons in recent months. Yeah, exactly. So there's been multiple things going on. The latest one that's really been making people mad is that Tim Hortons just signed, for an undisclosed amount, they signed with Justin Bieber. And Justin
Canadian.
Bieber is now he's now doing advertisement for Tim Hortons. So
What's wrong with
just the
that?
backstory. Well, here's the thing. So I think you guys call them donut holes, like the little mini ones. We call them Timbits. And so now they're called
Hold
Tim
on a
Beebs.
second. Tim Horton names donut holes after his own balls?
Timbits. That's what they're called. They're called Timbits.
I don't know
And
about
now
that.
Justin Bieber is part of this massive media campaign with
J-Bits.
them. And they're calling them Tim Beebs. Like full branding, like everything's Tim Beebs. It's Beebs.
I want some Tim
Justin
Beebs.
Bieber. And so it's making a lot of people mad because the quality of Tim Hortons has really gone downhill in recent years. They merged with Burger King, believe it or not, of all companies.
yuck.
And then Burger King, this big conglomerate called Restaurant Brands International. They're like this Brazilian conglomerate.
I love how generic it is, too. It's like a Restaurant Brands International.
Restaurant Brands International.
We do anything. You want pepperoni pizza? You want it. Cheese pizza? You got it. Taco.
Exactly.
They're worth like $10 billion.
Oh yeah, they're all
$10
like
billion.
giant. Yeah, exactly. And so the quality's really gone downhill, and apparently where they've sourced their beans, that's kind of gone out. So, and I can confirm the quality of the coffee has really gone downhill since these guys took over. So that's gone down, and now there's also issues with when they raised the minimum wage in Canada to $15 an hour. Tim Hortons basically started taking advantage of the employees and making them work more, not paid. But, they were trying to get
Hold on, that's an American thing.
Yeah,
You're
give us
stealing-
that back.
We take
That's what we
advantage
do.
of
Yeah,
employees.
you're not stealing that.
So it's gone downhill, and now everybody's was already kind of edgy towards Tim Hortons, and now Justin Bieber is making millions of dollars doing commercials for Tim Biebs. So people are like, why don't you treat your employees a little bit better, or source
So-
better products instead of paying Justin Bieber to do Tim Bieb?
What would
advertisements?
be the competitor in Canada to Tim Horton? Like, so we have McDonald's, Burger King, we have Dunkin' Donuts, I guess Starbucks, maybe, I don't know. So what would be the opposite of Tim Horton? Would be the next in line would be?
Yeah, there actually isn't. Like, it's a mid-tier coffee donut restaurant franchise, and there's really nothing else in it. There's
Really?
a few little ones here and there.
Dunkin', you guys don't have. I'm surprised Dunkin' doesn't come in there and go like, "Yo, Canada, we're gonna."
Now would be the time.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna step it up. And Dunkin' runs on America runs on Dunkin'. We can just as easily make that North America runs on Dunkin'.
Yeah, but Dunkin' does the same thing that every giant corporate fast food play. The cheaper the ingredients, whatever the cheapest possible thing they could buy, that's what they'll buy. And as long as it doesn't affect revenue, it's weird that people look at these giant corporations and they get mad at what they're doing, right? Like, you're not paying your employees enough. And then there's always the memes of like, wait a minute, if, you're saying you have to raise food prices, why don't you lower food prices if this, all those memes or whatever.
Sure.
And you're like, well, that's not what a company inherently does.
No, they're never going to do that. That's not, by design, they can't do that.
I mean, think of a robot that just wants to make as much money as possible. That's what a corporation
Well, what
is.
you're looking
They're
for,
not
asking for, it's not there.
And here the people have the power. Just stop going there. They'll change if
Hold
enough
on,
people.
write that down. Power to the people. Write that down.
I mean, it's not like you can't get donuts and coffee from other places. You have the choice. So.
I like going mom and pop, but sometimes it's harder to get through. They're not quick.
It's more expensive.
It's more expensive.
Yeah, it's going to take longer because that's why, the giant corporate donut and coffee place, they've made it faster and more efficient. But with that comes paying your employees less and having less quality food, right?
Sure.
So it's like we want to have it all. We're like, we want better quality food, pay your employees more, but still have the same fast and efficient.
Free. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Slow down.
It's like, what are people asking for? Like, this is what it is. This is what
you just hit the nail on the head. What are people asking for? The unattainable? Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's what we want.
Show me one instance where people are satisfied. Show me.
Yeah.
Everybody's up in arms. Everything's terrible. Everything's this is bad. It's like, whatever. I mean, what did you expect? It's Tim Horton, for Christ's sake, and Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is a corporation. He's huge.
You get what you pay for, right? And that's it. And that's always been it. It's like
that is true.
If you want a coffee and a dozen donuts for $4, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be garbage.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Or
you can go to a mom and pop here in town, and there are
or
plenty.
pay $18,
and you can pay $18 and get amazing handmade donuts that some lady you see her name. Hey, that's Judy. She made these donuts. Hi, Judy.
Yeah, and she's
each one of these donuts, by the way, is $5 a piece, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's handmade. It's handmade donut.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah,
but they're better though too.
Yeah, they are better. Better for you.
That's how business works.
That's the way, yeah. Why is this a newsflash for people?
Yeah,
it's crazy
because people just want to bitch, and then they also and yes, is there greed? Of course there is.
Well, people act as
you're
if
greedy. I'm greedy. Everybody's greedy. If you were Mr. Horton, guess what? You want to be rich.
Beam it up.
And all you're doing is trying to be rich and make as much money for the corporate shareholders as possible.
But don't look at the corporation though and pretend that it's not a corporation, that you're going to get anything out of it. That's like you're not going to go there and get like some empathy or love.
Yeah. Why is your manager not paying you? That's what they're paid to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, the manager is paid to figure out how to make their employees work for as little as possible. That's their entire job.
Yeah, we talked about this even with my situation years ago. The manager that I was negotiating with, his job was to get me to either not sign and save the money or get me at the lowest price possible.
Yeah. It's nothing personal.
Not personal at all.
Tim Horton he hired.
Is he alive? Where is Mr. Horton?
No, he's dead. He's a hockey player.
Oh, he was
really
a hockey
didn't have
guy.
much to do. Yeah, he was a hockey player. Dead. We might have talked about him before, actually.
I think we did, but man, with COVID brain and everything, like it's all you could recycle the ones you did years ago. It'd be fine. We can do them again.
I guess the biggest question though with the Justin Bieber situation is looking at your target demo. I don't know. I guess maybe they're trying to reach a younger crowd. Maybe
Well,
figure
look,
people have moved
I
on,
like
that's why they
Justin
wouldn't be
Bieber.
here.
This would work for me. I'm a middle-aged dude that likes coffee and donuts. I happen to like Justin Bieber. If I were Canadian, this would work for me. I'd be your guy. I'd be like, I'll try the Bieber donuts. Why not?
It's just like what everybody does with coaches, or what they're like, they want to be the armchair quarterback or whatever. Like you're sitting there like, why would he do this? They know. Like, why would Tim Horton hire Justin Bieber? It's probably based on some $1 million study they did showing that most of their their clientele, their customers are aging out. They're a higher age demographic, and you need to get younger customers in.
This one's easy,
to
isn't
brand.
it?
Yeah.
Is there a star bigger?
Yeah,
I think anybody would partner Justin Bieber. Like anybody in the world, if they said, hey, you get an opportunity to partner with Justin Bieber, I think anyone signs the deal.
They're trying to get new customers at a younger demographic because they probably looked at it like all their, no one even probably knows who Tim Horton is or remembers except for you, Josh, and everybody old like you that remembers who Tim Horton was. Like everybody in their 20s, they don't know who the hell Tim Horton. All they know is that that's always been the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada, and they probably think it's an old person coffee place, and they were trying to make themselves younger to get new customers that are young. They could be lifelong customers.
They just want to do it a little more before we all die.
And I wonder what they paid him too, man. I scoured the internet high and low, and I could not find out how much it was. Just kept coming back on this. Like, $1 million, 500,000.
No,
like what?
$1 million, Josh. I mean, it's the number
50. I don't know.
I would say
not 50.
I would say a $25 million contract would work, right?
It depends on what he has to do.
Is he in the commercial? Is he on the bill?
He's heavily involved in the commercial.
20 mil all day long. Why not?
The donuts.
It might even be 50 mil. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
He's the biggest star or one of in the world.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like Joe Rogan got what for 100 million? 50 million?
It was
Howard Stern got 500 million from Sirius. I'm just trying to put it in
50
perspective.
million Joe Rogan got.
I think if Joe Rogan got 50 million for his podcast with Spotify, I think Justin Bieber can get 50 million with Tim Hortons to do donuts and coffee and film and dance and sing. 100%.
It could be that. All I know is that it's a lot for probably the work he has to do, right? Because he's just licensing his name, and then it probably like 2 weeks out of the year he's got to go do some corporate event or then film
Christmas
some commercials.
Party, he'll dance,
yeah. He shows up at the Tim Hortons, convention that he has with all the CEOs.
Donuts, yeah.
He does a meet and greet with some CEOs' wives, you know what I'm saying? And the
want
kids.
you to meet my son.
They're like Tim Horton's CEO gets to have their kids meet Justin Bieber, which is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we get to meet Justin Bieber.
It's all that.
Little spoiled little Horton kids running around meeting Bieber.
Oh, man. Could you imagine if you grew into a family of extreme wealth?
I didn't.
No, but I'm saying like how much easier it would be. I don't know, but would you be happy though without the struggle?
Are you kidding me? I'd be eating donuts. I'm meeting Justin Bieber. I'd be happy as hell.
Yeah, but I'm watching like Yellowstone, and you see all these other.
That's fake.
I know, but you see these other people like that grow up in wealthy families, and I don't know. Some of them are not well adjusted.
But they're dumb. I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
So one thing I do know about me is that you could give me money and I wouldn't be ruined because I'm smart.
But the dumber you are, the happier you'll be with just money. Like if you're smart and you just get unlimited money, then I think that's...
I do enough drugs to make myself dumb.
Oh, okay. Because that's what makes... You need some sort of struggle.
Yeah, the drugs.
Okay, yeah.
Rich
and
people,
the
the
magic
drug
number
show,
I've heard, Tom, when it comes to equating money and happiness, I forget where I saw this, but apparently $60,000 a year is the basically the max you can make, and then above $60,000 a year, there's nothing that shows that your happiness is increased. Like, you know, if you're measuring it psychologically, anything above $60,000 a year. So I mean, $60,000 a year, that's decent. Bills are paid. There's some cold beer in the fridge. Above $60,000 a year, they say it doesn't actually equate to happiness. So
yeah, no, I believe it because it totally makes sense. I mean, once you make a certain amount where your bills are paid, I mean, there's people that have more ambition, or it's like, I want the mansion, I want the supercar. You know, that's a different story. But
I'd love to have a supercar.
But for the most of it, I don't know. I wouldn't even want. I'm not even joking. I would not want to own a Lamborghini.
I would like one just to walk around. I'm not gonna drive
it.
Where am I gonna drive it here?
Well, it's different. Yeah, we're different people. You get different joy in life.
Play around with it a little bit, start it up, back it out.
You have the family, you got a house, like your bills are paid, you could buy, like you said, beer, like you're not worrying about money every day. And it's kind of like, well, what if I made it, like for the amount of work it would take to make an extra $50,000 a year?
Yeah.
It's not worth it for the extra $50,000 a year gets me because I got everything I want.
Yeah.
Again, unless you want
more
super expensive things.
And that will change through life as well. And we're running out of time. Did you have another story?
No, that's it, buddy. I guess we'll keep the Cancel Nerd Jock campaign going. Just go to
we don't have to. It's really up.
Nerd Jock.
It's really up to you guys.
Josh,
I love EJ. I think he's a wonderful person. I just wanted to put a lot of time and effort into his bit and make it the best it can be. I want to set him up for success.
I just looked up at you for the first time.
Puppy.
I did scream, "Who is that?" So I saw.
I like his beard.
Your tiny Christmas tree. Is that a Canadian thing? Because here in America, we got big Christmas trees.
Big fat.
No, this is the I'm in the downstairs rec room, so that's just got a little.
That is a
cute
puppy, dude.
You got a downstairs Christmas tree?
Yeah,
fancy.
My
buddy,
wife's
fancy.
got a downstairs Christmas tree too. I like it that way. I like it.
I'm so glad I have my headphones on right now.
Yeah, that's the first thought that came through my head when I was saying that. I looked up at your son's face.
He can't hear you.
Okay, good.
It is a weird.
Don't make me a bad person.
Think about how weird the show is, where you're doing a free segment for us, and you make more money than we do.
Yeah, you do. You do. You're smarter than us.
That's odd, right? In every other situation, someone doing
question.
Huh?
I got another question.
Yeah.
Why is his Wi-Fi better than EJ's? EJ's was next door to us.
He's got money. I know EJ.
Josh is
a
in
janitor.
Canada, like straight. I mean, the cleanest stream, man. I mean, look at this internet stream. Look at that. Look how good he looks.
He's got that pipeline money.
Yeah, he got that sweet Canadian. He got that Tim Biebs money.
Yeah. He texted me his payroll check.
I know. I was like, God, you get that for nothing? Like literally nothing.
I was just sitting there in your truck.
Sitting there.
Yeah.
I like your
So
beard.
what's the ratio, though? You guys just said you're surprised that I make more money than you. Like, what's percentage-wise of people you have on reoccurring bits make more money than you? Is it?
You're the only one.
Really? No.
Everybody else,
EJ.
Come on, like Mo DeWitt.
Oh yeah. Well, Mo DeWitt makes more money than you.
What about some of your local businesses? You know what I mean? Like organic meats.
Oh, they make more than us.
More
than us. More than us.
The dad.
Why? If you're counting all of our clients, they all make more than us. What are you talking about? Like, why are you even asking that? Streamline, Hollabox.
Okay, so just for bits, though, I guess.
Yeah. Like, let's see. The Drew that does the trivia. He makes less than.
What about the Moof guy, Kenny? What's Kenny?
He makes less.
He makes less than us, only because he's a free spirit.
And he's still chasing the celebrity dream.
Yeah,
so
but that'll dry up soon.
Gotcha.
Anybody wanting to be a celebrity makes less money. Like,
he's still star chasing. He'll get out of that soon when reality slaps him across his face.
Kristrima, she makes less.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Everybody send Tom your pay stubs.
Yeah, send your pay stubs.
Seth, I'm not sure because he's
Seth must make more. Come on.
He did, but we make more now because he's been wasting his money to fill a hole in his heart.
That's true. Yeah. He's just throwing money.
He's got a hole in his heart that can only be filled by motorcycles and cars and all kinds of stuff he's buying.
I think we make more a year than he does. He just has accumulated more back
over time.
Yeah, back when he was the Kimbo UFC
he was
days,
raking it in.
Yeah, he might have accumulated like $700K at that time, and then through investments because he's a smart dude. And now like he has a bigger wealth.
I think Josh is richer than Seth now. Somebody said that in the chat room, and I think he is.
Oh, yearly check, because
Seth is just blowing money because he's confused.
Because that karate gym make him like what is he?
That's a passion project, brother. That is not for money.
I mean, he's making $1,500.
He loves that with all his heart. That's his real love. I mean, that is his. He is literally married to the dojo.
His gyms, like he's got 2 MMA gyms. I mean, that's probably netting him what $3,500 a month.
Didn't he sell all his properties? He had a bunch of properties, but he's been liquidating them for his motorcycle and boat addiction.
Yeah. He did. He's a renter. He does have like his landlord.
He used to have a lot. But he's like me.
Didn't he move into like his in-law suite in his backyard or something?
Right now he's living in a pop-up tent outside of his, right? I think he's in a tent outside of Daichi's house.
Well, let's just say this. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. And what happens next will shock you.
All right, Josh, we'll talk to you next year. Have a good Christmas. Have a good New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
All right, guys, same to you. Very good.
All right, very good to you, sir. That is that connection's good for Canada. They got good Wi-Fi up there.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
All right. Big Rick likes birds.
What's going on, y'all? It's Big Rick. Hey, Tom, I'm listening to you tell Dan about how you're having your escapades with your bird, man. And you mentioned something that has stuck with me for a long time about how birds just mimic what people are doing and or saying.
Did we already do this
and,
one?
I had a girlfriend once upon a time.
I don't know.
To say it was early college, right? And she had, I think, a cockatoo, which is a big white one, right? And
Okay, for a split second, I thought he was doing like a joke. Like, okay, I went to college. I had a girl.
Yeah.
She had a cockatoo.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some dad joke.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
why do giants have lower voices? I know
bigger lungs and bigger voice boxes. He has a bigger voice box than mine. I actually, for a smaller man, I have a remarkably heavy and large voice box.
Yeah, because it does.
I wasn't gifted a little person voice box. I don't have that like high pitched little person voice.
Go search Tony Robbins, because I on my TikTok algorithm, Tony Robbins pops up every once in a while. I'm not sure why. Yeah. And he's got a giant's voice, and I listen to him like...
He's got a giant's everything. I mean, he's giant's teeth, giant's head.
But his voice sounds like a cartoon giant.
He's getting bigger. Like, his jaw is...
Has he got gigantism?
Yeah, his jaw is widening.
What's wrong with him?
You know that one guy that played Jaws in all of the 70s and 80s James Bond movies?
Oh, yeah,
I believe his name was James something. He was a unfortunately horrible-looking man. And he had an unfortunate problem.
He
was a giant man.
Yes.
Tony Robbins has that man's face. He's becoming Jaws from James Bond.
Yeah, and he's got the same voice where it's like,
Hey,
listen to it. Okay, play his voice, because if you listen
Billy Crystal.
it's low. It's so you can't even mimic it.
I mean,
it's like,
I'm looking
it's
at
a different octave.
I'm looking at his face right now, and his face is getting a giant face.
Listen to her.
Put up for Sarah Foley, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah Foley. Let her hear you.
I was waiting for you to is for payoff.
Passion and your caring is so evident.
Your passion and your what is he, Macho Man Randy Savage?
Well,
let's see if I can find a better clip.
Yeah, but it's that deep giant voice.
First of all, I want to just thank you all for the privilege to be here. Not only hopefully to serve you for a few minutes here, but also
he's got excellent cheekbones, right? Or unfortunate cheekbones. I can't figure it out.
It's that problem. He's a gigantic. He's a giant.
He's a giant man. How tall is Tony? I got to look him up now.
It's just everything. I don't even know if he's that tall. What's weird is that like basketball players that are like 7'5" or whatever.
Well, his book was Awaken the Giant Within. Hold on, we're putting the pieces together here. Only a giant would write a book.
That giant, I think he passed away, but he was in that movie
Big Fish.
Yeah, Big Fish.
How did I know that? My memory is so terrible.
Where, obviously he's got whatever thyroid problem, or his body keeps, producing growth hormone, and
he's 6'7", dude. He is a giant. He's 6'7".
Well, hold on. Angel's 6'7".
Yeah, but he doesn't have it. Angel looks good. Like you look at Angel, he doesn't have the
giant features.
Yeah, he doesn't have
that.
The
He's
big
square. Yeah.
Much like me, I don't have little person features. Me and Angel.
Yeah.
Are
right?
We're the right form of the algorithm.
Yeah, you are pre-little person. He's pre-giant.
Yeah.
Like right at the cusp.
We get the benefits of being both of those, but we haven't gone full metamorphosis yet.
He doesn't have the weird jaw and the voice.
He looks good.
You don't have the legs.
My legs are normal.
Yeah.
Well, I am getting a little bit of the legs. I can't tell a lie. You know what? I've been hiding it for a very long time. And since I've been riding the Peloton daily, my hips are a little like messed up, and they're starting to bow in. And I'm getting shorter because of my back pain.
Yeah. So you'd be, although the end,
I'm gonna have surgery to become a little person.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. I identify closer to that than I don't.
What would you need to do? Like,
I just need
shorter?
to lose. I need to lose about 1.5 inches on each leg. It's not much. It's not much.
Can they take 1.5 inches out of your femur, just like
they take it from your knees? What they do is they cut your knees, and then they disconnect your legs, almost like a G.I. Joe. And they pull your legs out, and then they shave your knees down, and they reformulate. They kind of make a new knee, and then they kind of pop it back into the sockets and realign your knees. It's all from the knees.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then
I've looked into it before, and I got long thigh bones, so they would take it from my thigh bones because my calf, the length of my calves is good.
Yes, yeah.
But I got a little bit of longer. I can lose a little in the thigh bones.
And then you could legally be a little person, right?
Oh, I can reap all the benefits.
Although, though, is that like, you remember what the Rachel Dolezal?
Don't get into this fight. Don't get into this fight.
Like, you can't identify.
You're going to start to say that I'm different than a person that was actually born as a little person?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you make yourself into a little person, I think you'll get hate.
I'm not making myself into a little person. I am a little person now. I just was born, and I have an inch and a half too long at each of my legs.
Well, I mean, that's like me turning myself
I'm bailing
into
on this.
I tried. That's all we got. That's all we tried. It's the first time we failed.
It's the first time we failed.
But, it's almost Christmas. We can't do it all.
Yeah, we can't.
You want it all? You're getting it all.
Wait, don't ever say that. I don't want to give them all. I don't even know what that means.
All right. Bye-bye.
That will work, actually. That's funny.
Oh, it's too short.
It'll work.
Okay.
Because the other one was hideously long. It was like 3 minutes too long.
Okay.
Which one was that?
That is for 12/27, segment 2.
12/27. What day is that?
That is Monday. No. Yep.
Do we have anything for it already?
Yep.
I'm in it. I got it.
Yeah, it's a Pabone. Although we only did 30 with them, so it may be too short.
It's too short. We can keep going. I'll just back it up. Keep rolling. Ready?
Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Just be honest. Okay.
3, 2.
Jump the gun.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back. Let's try. I'm looking through my voicemail here. A lot of these are things that I don't want to talk about. Like I got a voicemail by Travis Scott. I don't want to talk about that. Sad. Maybe this one. Let's try this one.
Hey guys, property manager Philip here. Man, those Karens touching 60, selling real estate, they don't know anything. Tom, you're right. They would just want to talk. They'd mess up contracts. They'd send incorrect numbers. At closing, it was always a headache. I hate dealing with them. I stopped answering their phone calls. We just did straight emails, and man, that made them mad. They want to do it the old way? No, I don't want to talk to you.
My dad was like that. My dad hated email. If you had anything you needed to say to him, call him.
Yeah. I mean, it happens with every generation, right? You age out of your job, and new people are doing it differently. Like, I'm sure that we haven't seen it yet, but there'll be a time in 10 years, if we're still doing this, that we'll be made fun of by young podcasters or influencers.
Oh, we already are, I'm sure. At some point.
We're right on the cusp of we're still doing it, and I guess
I'm anti-phone call. Anybody that truly knows me knows I do not like talking on the phone. If you want to text me, that's cool. If you want to email me, if you need to talk to me, text me and tell me to jump on the phone. That's fine.
Yeah.
100%. Because there are some things that are better related. Like you and I do that. I'll just text you and be like, yo, you got time for me? And you'll jump on the phone call. That way it's something that I need to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I don't like just the phone call out of the blue. I don't like that. That puts me on tilt because I'm an anxiety person. I'd rather you give me the courtesy of saying, hey, I do have something that needs your full attention and does require your anxiety, so call me.
Yeah.
That way I can prepare myself. If you just call me, I go right to something's wrong, and that's my fault. I know that's my fault. I wish I could change that. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it could be something as sinister or as dark as every time I got a call random from my mom or from my dad, it was bad news. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but when you call me without a text warning me about the call, I think something is wrong.
I think most people do nowadays, although it just affects you more. I get a call from my mom or sister.
You don't think it's bad stuff?
No, I think that there is a possibility it is, but it doesn't spike, but I also think it's a possibility it's not bad at all. If I got a
God, that's got to feel good. God, what a good feeling of thinking that it's something positive. I'm going to try that. I've been trying it.
Well, it's not the way your brain works.
It isn't, but through practice, you can get better at it. That is true.
Yeah.
Through repetition, you can get, I can every 10th time, maybe I'll get something positive.
There's a lot of inefficiency with phone calls because a lot of it's waste of time, of niceties and stuff that, I guess it depends on what the purpose of the phone call is. Is it to form some sort of connection because it's your friend or family and then you want that?
Well, like for you and I, it's normally details that I can't figure out how to properly text, and it's going to be a lot. So I'd rather just call you and dump.
Yeah. No, especially if there's a lot of contextual things too, where it's harder to get out with text messages because it's too much details. Yeah, you call. But everybody will get old and inefficient, and then do things the old way, and they'll be made fun of by the younger generation. Like, there's no way to get around that, right? Because you're just going to be. Most people get stuck in the way they always did things. Like,
some people, though, are able to, almost, they limit the things that they do that allow them to be made fun of, okay? We don't have enough time to really dig into this.
Yeah.
But I always think of, a Tony Bennett, or I'm trying to think of older people that seemingly aged well. It was like things that they knew they would be made fun of doing, right? So social media. If you get to an age where you don't navigate the space correctly and it's too much, then pulling away from it is probably in your best interest, because the only way you're going to be made fun of is if you lean in and just don't get guidance and you screw it all up. But if you pull back from it and go like, hey, that's really not my bag, it's not my thing, if you just don't run in the space,
then you're never gonna. Yeah, you're 100% right. And then,
but that's dangerous too, because then you lose grasp. You still need to know what it is. You may not want to navigate it, but you need to know what it is. So TikTok, for instance. I believe a guy like Tony Bennett, again, I think he's dead, using a person that I think held on to a certain level of cool for a long time. Yeah. I think he knew what it was. He may not be active on it, but he wasn't clueless to it. Where you truly go dark is when you're like, I don't know what that is. Then, now we got big problems.
Well, not if you don't use it, because then that's not in your age range, so you shouldn't know what it is.
But sometimes questioning even that makes you look like a fool. If you know what it is, but you're not in it, I still think it's a better play. My mom knew all the current artists, like on the radio, or knew some of them.
Yeah, and recognize names and stuff.
So it does. I think it gives you it almost gives you a little more credibility. Like at least you're giving it a go, but you're not going what you're not needed.
You're right. Yeah. There it is.
That's my opinion.
All right, now we're done.
It is your OJ show of the week. Welcome to it.
What do we got here?
This was hold on here. We did Go for Turd. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This week is show number 431, entitled Doo-Doo Plank, from August 11th of 2017.
All right.
Let's see here. Tom signed up for gardening classes.
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember this.
Is this the beginning of your love for
No. That didn't happen until COVID. I didn't even care about plants until COVID. But this was something that...
This is Poolber, the first show with Poolber. Our throats are rotting out today. We're just going to tell you.
Well, too many recording.
Too many recording, too much caffeine.
We're trying to... Anyway.
Trying too hard. We should just take time off, and then you guys don't get shows. That's it. You just don't get shows. Fine. You don't get shows. Let's see. We do Tom signed up for gardening classes. The Doo-Doo Plank, Nature's Toilet. Poolber has become a reality. Convincing Dan's wife to try edible. Still hasn't tried it. Patty and your panties. Ew. Alcohol allergy, the origin of jizz, jizz of Gilmont, time capsules, best fast food hot dogs. Tom has ice cream guilt. This sounds like a great show.
The gardening class, this was my wife's idea. I'll tell the story in the show, I'm sure.
This poor woman, you blame everything on her.
Well, how many...
It was at Lou Gardens, right?
Yeah. And she was like, hey, there's this gardening, we should go do it, because she was under this kick of us going out and finding things to do together, which is funny. She chose gardening at that time And I just went along because I was like, yeah, sure. I'm like,
Yeah, but you fell in love with it and she hated it, right?
Well, now
This is like a movie plot. It's like the
I want her to do gardening now with me. She's not interested.
Yeah, she hates it.
I think it's because I love it. That's what I'm convincing myself
I
of.
asked her, and she says that she likes the plants and she likes the aura and how they look, but she has no interest in getting out there and,
Yeah, the work.
whacking on them.
And it's funny because I just like the work of it. And
You don't
could
like
care
the
less-
beauty.
Yeah, the beauty.
But
does
it's
me-
perfect. You're like,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can
yeah.
get the beauty, you can do the work. It's perfect.
I guess you're right.
But you just have to do it separately, though.
Yeah, but she's like, quit working so much. They're like, I can't. I have a mental illness.
Yeah, and then she's like, these plants aren't beautiful. You're not working on them enough. It's like the reverse, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much what we did on the show. Sounds like a good one to me. Pool bear. That's that burned hot. That's not a thing now, right? People aren't using that. That's not a thing.
Well, Swimly is.
Yeah, it is, but I'm just saying
no,
it's not a
yeah.
thing. It's just like
It is a thing, but it's not popular.
Correct. It's like they're like NFTs. Remember when NFTs were popular, and that for 1 week when everybody's NFTs went out
it's a
there?
new
and-
thing. Yeah.
It's not popular
Some
anymore.
people do it. There's a groups of people. It's just not.
It's not a thing.
It's not as popular as Uber, or not. Like 1 in 10 people with pools aren't doing it.
No.
It's probably like 1 in 10,000, right?
Yeah, very few people are doing pool bear. It's not a thing.
I got a new. Well, that's Swimly. Swimly is my pool bear, but I got a new pool bear. Wait.
Okay.
I've been waiting to tell you this.
All right.
And
I'm going to actually, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to be negative just for the sake of being negative.
Okay.
I'm going to listen to it and decide as an investor whether or not I want to invest.
So here's the new pool bear idea, and it's
Okay.
going to be called pool bear because the name is good, right?
Pool tables.
No.
Oh.
Pool bear is going to be you put on the app, like everybody signs up for an app, you sign up for pool bear, and if you have a pool but don't want to do your own chemicals and don't want to hire a Stony Baloney pool guy or whatever, you put on
So
their
for
pool.
any Wild West just redneck with a truck full of chemicals can swing by my house and just throw any chemical in my pool?
Well, your neighbors, like the nerd dad, because in every neighborhood there's a nerd dad that does his own chemicals,
Yeah.
right?
Well, my
And
dad did his own chemicals, and it wasn't a nerd dad. My dad just is cheap as hell.
Well, yes, cheapo, nerd dad, whatever you want to say. My father-in-law, forever, he's rich. He never hired a pool guy because he gets some sort of enjoyment about doing his own chemicals,
Yeah,
right?
you shake it up. Drops of red, drops of yellow.
Yeah.
Shake it up.
Like-
Got to change it. Put a dash of that, dash of this.
He's been doing it for 30 years, and he enjoys it or whatever. I think he would be
Pool
a
cocky.
candidate.
That's what we call it. Pool cocky.
I don't know that. Well, that's I still like pool bear, but anyway, you go on the app and then say like, hey, I'm looking for someone to do my chemicals, and some nerd dad, he also is on the app because
Chemicals.
he enjoys doing the chemical, and he's like, oh, my neighbor needs the chemicals. He goes over and does it for like $25 or whatever it is, kind of like Halsey at one time, where it's like you can negotiate the price, but it's peer-to-peer pool cleaning.
Peer-to-peer pool cleaning.
Yeah.
Pool-to-pool pool cleaning.
Yeah.
Pool.
Where it's like
pool.
people will clean your neighbor's pools for a nominal fee, especially if like they're already doing theirs and they got the extra chemicals. They just do their neighbors.
I look down
for
on all of this.
$25.
Airbnb, any of that.
No, it's
Pool bear,
good.
all of it. The sharing. Sharing is what poor people do. Poor people share. Rich people buy stuff.
But you're saving money.
Nah, you guys always
you're
have
being
some
more
story
efficient.
about some Airbnb. You used it. You got bed bugs. Your wife got some
No,
old
no,
man
no.
looked
No,
at your
it's
wife in
good.
the shower. Give me a hotel.
That
good old
happened-
hotel with a Bible
No,
and a TV.
hotels stink.
I want a hotel Bible TV. It's clean.
Dude, hotels have been the dirtiest. Oh, they're inherently more dirty because more people run through them.
No,
your
no.
Airbnbs
Well,
are
I'm
less.
going to a top tier hotel. I'm not going to
Yeah.
like a Econo Lodge.
Dude, I went to which one was it that we had? Not bed bugs, but we had some sort of roaches, baby roaches. And it was like the Hilton or something.
roaches.
It was someplace they had the last insurance convention. It was like a resort, hotel
There's
and there's roaches. And
people get that at Airbnbs too.
of course they do, but I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily mean that fancier hotel is going to be cleaner. And I would say
No
that
one will change my mind.
there's a chance that it'll
It's
be
just
dirty.
like politics on Facebook. Nothing will change my mind.
There's so many people going through there, and then you got the cleaning ladies. They don't give a damn anymore about the their job.
They seem to give a damn more than most Airbnbs that are always cleaned late. Give me a story where somebody says my Airbnb wasn't cleaned late, or the guy that got there was 2 hours past the time I was supposed to check in. It is rife with tons of people saying that.
But yes, but people complain. Especially because you have it set up for being less efficient. Like a hotel has rules like check out at 11. You got to check out at 3.
Airbnb should be the same way.
They do, but they run it looser because
I don't
it's
want it
one
loose.
person.
I want it strict.
Yeah.
I want it strict. I want a continental breakfast.
I'm fine with you
I don't
doing
want
whatever
you
you
leaving
want.
a picture of your grandma in there. It's disgusting to me. It's yuck. I don't want to see that.
I'm just and scientifically, the Airbnb is a better bang for your buck than a hotel.
I agree.
Mathematically,
it's just, I think if you went across the globe and you said, if you measured the cleanliness of every Airbnb and across the globe you measured the cleanliness of every hotel, who's going to win?
I think Airbnb will.
See, I disagree. I think hotels win because they have a series of standard that's set, and Airbnb does not. They can say that they do, but they don't. And the bottom line means less for Airbnb.
I'm saying this based on every time they do this study, like the dirtiest thing in your house or what carries the most germs. It's always the remote control, your phone, anything that gets touched the most, right? It's just logic. So if you have a hotel room that's running, a person in there every single night, and because of their efficiency, they could just put more humans in the space than an Airbnb can.
But the standards of cleanliness at like a Roops hotel would be higher than any Airbnb.
Yes, they're company standards, but who's cleaning the property?
The people that he employs.
Yeah.
And I would trust him over the guy that's getting his buddy to. Any of my friends that run Airbnbs never get a professional, like the people that I know that run them.
Yeah.
Always get a buddy to clean it. It's never I'm getting a professional to clean it or somebody that has a vacuum cleaner. They're usually bringing something from home. They got a roll of paper towels. They got a thing of Windex. I'll do my best.
And sometimes it's the owner cleaning it
I don't want
themselves. But they're going to take more care than the employee. Like employees don't care anymore.
I don't think they will. I think they half-ass it. I think that most Airbnb people, when they clean, I think that you've been eating and drinking the Airbnb Kool-Aid. I think you've been led down the road of assuming that these owners they don't clean nothing.
I'm doing logic. Like I trust the owner of the property to do a better job cleaning than the employee that's getting paid minimum wage. That hates her job and hates the company she works for and is just going through the motions.
She may not hate her job. You're going on what you think the person does.
I would bet that more than 80% of cleaning people that work for hotels dislike their current employer.
I would bet that even more Airbnbs are dirty and that you aren't detailed enough to notice how disgusting the places you've been staying in are. That's what I would say, sir.
Well, just based on my own personal life, I've seen more baby roaches in a commercial hotel than I have in Airbnbs.
The world may never know. Let me find another voicemail here. Let's try. I believe we did not do this one. This one's kind of interesting.
Yo, BDM Neil here. I was the one that commented on the Eric Weber post. I opened the door for y'all. Let's have him. I think you guys need to reach out. Have him on one last Eric Weber hurrah.
Whatever happened to old Eric Weber?
I
believe
no idea.
He's living in LA, and I don't know what the guy does anymore.
He's some sort of influencer or something?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah,
I think that's what he's doing now. I think that he is like a movie influencer man or something like that.
Yeah, besides from being on the news, I had no idea what Eric Weber did.
Yeah, he did newscasting, and then I know he has a website where he does like Oscar picks. So I would imagine that pretty soon he will be rolling out his... you know what? I'll reach out to him and see if I can get him on.
How do you make money doing that?
Well, his website is he has like all the categories like listed out, And then
I guess
it's like
if
a
you get
destination for people that are doing parties and stuff. And then he sells advertising. I mean, I've been on the
Okay.
website. I've seen what he does. You can't make a ton, I guess, but he has
Make
advertising on it.
side money or whatever.
He hustles a little bit with it. But yeah, I can reach out to Eric Weber and see about getting him on.
Okay, I figured out a way to convince you that I'm right.
Okay.
So think
Most
about,
of the chat room is agreeing with me that hotels, by and large, are cleaner than, by and large, Airbnbs. So,
Okay.
so I just want to let you know that automatically everyone else thinks that what you're saying is wrong.
Well, look at it. Well, no, that's fine. I mean, and it may be wrong. I don't know. Because
And I'd
the only
also
way-
like to add in, too, that I have no prior knowledge of any Airbnb. So I'm
never
the
even
worst.
stayed in
I've never,
Airbnb.
and I won't. I won't.
Yeah.
Not until, well, no, actually I will this year. I'm doing my first Airbnb this year.
Oh, this year or 2022?
2022, rather.
Okay.
The upcoming
Yeah, yeah.
year. We already rented it for like Charleston or something like that. But
Well-
I think it's gross staying in somebody else's house. Like I could,
But
like it'd be
most
like
of
you
them are-
thinking my house is gross because I have PB dogs. I would
Yeah.
say yes, I agree.
Most of them are not being lived in, though, because they're turned into their own small business. And most places.
I think this is a lived-in one that we're going.
Okay,
to.
yeah. Well, that's different. Like I've stayed in ones that are lived in, and I do feel it's weird. And like, so, but the most Airbnbs I stayed in were just empty places, like hotels that they cleaned, and it's just a business.
Right.
So, but anyway, back to my argument.
Yeah, hit me.
So, like, okay, let's look at corporate.
Change my mind.
Let's say corporate quality. So let's just say the radio. Do you think that we have the ability to offer a better product than corporate radio?
We do, yeah. I do
Be-
think we do.
Because we care more?
But by and large, most podcasts do not. I think most people, if you're asking me if we do, I would say yes. Then we would be the outlier of Airbnb guys that hire a real company to clean their Airbnb like a hotel. That's us.
Well,
but most people, look at all the other podcasts, and I'm not saying that to boast.
Yeah.
Look at any other podcast. Can you depend on them?
I'm saying that they care more than
I don't
any
think they
corporate
do.
employee. If they did it themselves, if they did it for their livelihood. Now, if they do it for a hobby, that's different. You know,
So that's my point.
Yeah.
Most podcasts, I think, are doing it for a hobby. Most Airbnb guys, the guys that clean it, are doing it for a hobby. I think you actually made my argument better.
They're the people that are cleaning them are their own owners. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I don't think their standard is set. Like an owner may be like, to me, an owner would look at our couch in here and be like, it's clean, it's all right. Like it's like that. It's like, that's fine. It's Airbnb, it's fine. Whereas a hotel, they go, no. The guideline is that has to be, inspected 7 times. That's why that person hates their job, by the way, is because they have to jump through all those hoops.
Yeah.
Steam it. Vacuum it.
Yeah. I just don't think, I just trust the owner of the property more than I trust the employee of the corporate hotel. Like, I just think the employee of the corporate hotel, yes, there are standards and they have to do the standard, but that's all they're doing. There's no care put into it as there is
Or
to
maybe
the
both,
owner.
there's no care put into it. Like, the only reason the owner would put care into it is if he was like, well, I don't want my investment to...
Oh, you get rated, and it's directly to them. The person that's cleaning the rooms, first, they can't get fired because there's no other person to do the job. Like, I know, like, especially current day, it's like if you are a cleaning person for a hotel, your job is safe. No one's ever going to fire you because it's impossible to find employees. So you could do whatever you want, and you can half-ass whatever you want. But, it's an impossible argument because it's all subjective to each individual
But I like
property.
it. I like it. It's interesting because I think both of them, you could find the guy that... Now, for instance, if I were Airbnb guy, fortunately for the person staying in my Airbnb, I would want it top tier. Like I would clean it well.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying most of the people that I know that use Airbnb a lot, at least once they've told me in passing some story about a nightmare about like it wasn't cleaned when it was supposed to clean. That's the big one I hear on Airbnb. And it is enough to make me not want to do it because I hear that I'm like, well, I just don't want that. I want to show up and I want to be guaranteed if check-in time is at 3, I want to get in there at 3. I don't want to get in there at 3 and then have to have 2 redneck ladies come by and clean it at 5. I'll leave. We'll go down the street. We'll eat something and let you clean. Then we'll come back. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's
because
weird.
time and scheduling matters to you. So that
Correct.
Yeah, that leans more towards the corporate structure.
It should
of
matter.
a hotel.
It should matter to anybody, right? That's a waste of your time. Why should you have to leave if you paid for the Airbnb? Why should you have to be?
I'm just looser and that kind of thing. Like, well, the ladies are late or whatever. I'll just go to dinner and let them clean. You know,
But that's
like,
not what. But what if that's not when you wanted to go to dinner?
Yeah. I'm more. It's kind of like, whatever. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get it.
It doesn't bother me, so I'm willing to, take that.
I don't typically go on vacation to be on the Airbnb host's cleaning people's schedule. So it wouldn't anger me, but I'd be like, nah, that's a no-go. I wouldn't even have them come and clean. I'd be like, nah, just forget about it.
Well, again, yeah, I think it depends on the type of person you are. You like more of a structured thing. Like it matters more that it's on time and done the right way than say you can get an Airbnb with a pool, a nice yard, and like that kind of thing, and like a bigger living area, and like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I got you. Like a house.
Set.
Got a house.
Yeah, you're staying or you can get the hotel that is more expensive, but everything's done on a structured time frame. You would prefer the structured time frame than the extra stuff. For me, I'd prefer the extra stuff. The structured time frame meaningless to me, and I'll take the advantage of the extra stuff for the price. And that is just subjective.
Because normally Andrea has things structured. So if I take the unstructured thing where the ladies are, where I'm having to go on somebody else's schedule, maybe it's a little more loose, that sets everything else.
Yeah, because you like the time being structured.
I do like it being structured.
Me, Crystal, our family, willy-nilly, no plan van, we'll just go with the flow. So that doesn't matter to me. So, everybody's different.
Yeah, let's try this one.
Hey guys, property manager Philip here. On Monday's ACT, we're talking about lawyers working pro bono for college athletes until they make it to the pros. I used to live down the street from the lawyer for Randy Moss. He was his lawyer when he was in college, from when he was at FSU, then the Marshall University. He actually got drafted to the Vikings sitting in the lawyer's living room down the street with a bunch of satellite trucks out front, which is pretty wild. So he was his lawyer even after he retired, but he's no longer his lawyer anymore because probably about 10 years ago, the lawyer got caught in a hotel room with his wife and a bunch of other people having a crack party, and that made the news, and Randy Moss dropped them. So a lot of chaos ensued after that. You could probably Google these articles to look up more information.
You know what's weird, and you know where I've never been invited and always wanted to be, and this is surprising because this would be something that happens normally, I would imagine, in hotels, which we were just talking about. Crack parties, always in hotels, never in a house.
You're trying to hide.
But there's other people in the hotel. The best place to hide would be in a private residence. Like if we smoked crack in here, I feel confident. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I feel like you and I right now could toot a little crack and nobody around us would be none the wiser. Nobody around us right now would be like, these guys are down there smoking crack. But if we went to a hotel and had a crack party, I feel like they're always finding you smoking crack at the hotel.
Well, the crack party insinuates that there's a bunch of
Coming
other
and
people
going.
there, and everybody's having. So
crack is a You got to have a bunch of people around when you're doing the crack.
I guess if you just
you
like
share
anything,
the crack?
you're all.
Is it a sharing thing?
Yeah, I think
like ayahuasca.
It's like a joint you pass around the crack bowl, right? And
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never done crack.
I think it's you share it, the crack bowl or I know people like
it's a rock. You put it in a tube.
Yeah.
And you heat it.
You're smoking the glass tube.
And it's the vapor. It goes up, and you suck it into the top.
Some people, they heat it up on tinfoil or something, and
That's freebasing, though, right? That's different.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think crack is in the glass.
Yeah. You're smoking a rock through a little glass pipe. But I think you just pass that along like a joint to your crack buddy friends, right? And that's
yeah.
And then...
Never been to a crack party.
So it is interesting why they do it in a hotel.
Always in a hotel.
Because didn't
Marion Barry was in a hotel. The
what was that politician from Miami or he was
Yes.
he was gonna be a Florida governor, wasn't he, in a hotel?
Gillum.
Yeah,
Andrew Gillum. Is that his? He was a. Didn't he?
Wasn't
have a crack?
he having a crack party in a hotel?
Yeah, he had a crack party.
Why?
OJ, I think he's been to a crack party before. Like, there's
why are they doing it in a hotel?
That's my question.
Why not? Because
get an Airbnb for that.
Because if
it's
you're
not as clean.
If you're Randy Moss's lawyer, that insinuates to me that you have money and you have a big house. Why couldn't you just do it in one area of your house? Like if your kids are I understand it, maybe you put your kids somewhere.
I don't understand why you don't go outside. I'm not smoking crack in my house. It might stick to the ceiling. I don't know what it is.
Like, don't you have a big backyard?
When you have a balcony, go out on your balcony and toot your crack. It'll dissipate into this thing called the atmosphere. It's amazing.
But if it's like if you live in a nice house, you got probably a nice outdoor space. You have your crack party out there.
Perfect for crack.
And it doesn't
outdoor kitchen. Go smoke your crack near the outdoor kitchen near the pavers.
There's got to be a logical reason.
I'm telling you,
they chose like a hotel.
I'm telling you,
because it seems illogical because they always get caught. And then you lose your GD client, which is Randy Moss.
Or maybe you get the crack off the street, hotels closer to street, excited, got to have my crack now. Get a hotel, go! Get the crack!
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the addiction part. Like, you need it fast. Kind of like a hooker.
Yeah, but I think I could find, I would call you. I'll be like, dude, I'm freaking out. I got the crack. I'm coming to your house fast. I'm driving. Just to give myself the peace of mind of knowing I'm not in a hotel and people aren't going to smell my crack.
It's got.
I shouldn't have said smell like
that. Anyway, we're doing an OG show. Enjoy your OG show.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about crack. We were fighting about Airbnbs. All right, enjoy your crack.